FYI, I think you're looking for page 53 or 54 of the DMG. 53 or 54.
For the folding boat?
No, for ship travel in general.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Hello, we are live, sort of. Pre-checks. Got a few minutes before we actually kickstart this bad boy, but as always, we start a little bit early so we can let people start to filter in, get themselves a good seat, get your beverage of choice, a good snack, and put your feet up and listen to the shit show. Hey, look at there. Excel is just waiting. He's already dropping 20s, man, for the DM.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, Excel. I appreciate it, dude. Get that stuff out of the way quick. But that's okay. We are carrying over from last session, so the party still has one left over from last session. So we will talk about all of that before we get going. Oh no! And he's got us a nat 1 too. Is that for the party or for the DM? Oh, roll for who gets the damn. Okay, I need every one of the players to please roll, and I'm gonna roll for Barris since Barris isn't here. But I need everybody to give me just a straight up die 20 roll.
I got a 3. Or did I? I don't know what I got.
No, Barris got a 3. Yours hasn't come in yet.
Well, a pair of 5s after that, so.
Yep. You did get the... Oh, no, that was Zadkill. Never mind. Still waiting on...
Yeah, I had a 19, and then it hit the thing and made it roll a 3.
All right. Did mine come across?
No, it did not. It didn't roll.
I'll try it again. Here we go.
Oh, so close. Varus gets the nat 1.
Varus.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Excel. I dig it. Dig it, dig it, dig it. And oh, by the way, Agora Quest is live. That's us. Wow, can you believe we are in session 51 already? It's crazy, especially after... Yeah, interesting. 1 in 20. Come on in, come on in. Just here in a couple minutes, we're going to kick this thing off. Let's get this shit show started.
Just as a point of context, if I understand what you sent me for a message, you guys said you already split the treasure at 1,500 each?
Well, it wasn't really, there was no real treasure. Well, there was some treasure, but we haven't calculated any treasure experience yet. That was just, I gave 1,000 bonus for everybody for the role play with the Nereid, and then I gave 500 just as a session because we didn't really do a lot of combat or anything like that.
That was XP, not gold.
That was correct. XP. That's XP, yeah.
Gotcha. Yep.
Oh, I'm attached to Barris. When I rolled that 12, it came up as Barris, and I was like, wait a minute, I rolled it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But I tried to move my character, and he's still attached.
Is he? Let me I don't know why that does that.
Well, they had another update. I noticed when I was logging in.
Well, it could be that you actually only have him selected partially as well, too, right? Maybe.
I don't know.
But it doesn't matter. I'm going to go in here and configure permissions. Default. There. What? Talking about. Oh, crud. I will be back in just a second. I'm an idiot. I'll be back. That's what I did wrong. Here. when I log in as the DM, I have to go into an incognito window. Otherwise, it confuses because I'm logged in as the VTT viewer account as well.
Wow.
And it's defaulting to that, so it's not letting me do anything. I think I remember things like that. Sign in. Watch the 1A1 shots. Where we go? And now I should be able to. It's weird though that it was letting me do everything, and all of a sudden I went to change permissions. It's like, oh, VTT viewer doesn't have permissions to do that. All right. Alt. Save changes. There we go. Now we're good. And in the meantime, let's get this party started. Let's kind of kick it over to starting. And we're here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Agora Quest 21 Shots. I am Sean, your host, bringing you together with the finest first edition gamers this channel has to offer. Welcome, 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 everybody. For the newcomers, welcome, I should say. For the old hats that have been around a while, welcome back. Thank you guys for once again showing up. And before we even got started, we're already dropping 20s and nat 1s and everything. So let's get right into who we are and what we do. Of course, we are a D&D stream. We do first edition Dungeons and Dragons here on Monday nights, and every other Friday we do a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons stream. So I encourage you to check both streams out if you have not yet. As I said, that we already had some of our folks show up a little early, kind of just waiting in the wings, and as soon as they saw us come on, boom, started dropping tokens and stuff. So as you follow the stream, you know, any Twitch stream, you earn tokens, whatever they call them at the different streams. We call them our Parentland gross marks because our stream was originally based in the country of Parentland, and we have since expanded to the rest of the planet, but we just left the coins, calling them gross marks. You can trade those tokens in to give our players or your humble DM a Nat 1 or a Nat 20. It's for this session only, and they can use it at any time during the stream to replace a roll, to in place of a roll. Like a lot of times they'll roll and they'll realize, oh, I don't need the Nat 20, but if they need it, then they'll use it, or the Nat 1, or whatever the case may be. I encourage you to get them out of your hands early and into the hands of our players, because they have to have them in hand before they can use them. It's not like they could say, oh crap, I wish I had a Nat 20 to help me out here, and then you can just give them a Nat 20. They have to have it on hand before they need it. So again, I encourage you to go ahead and do that if you have not already. And I appreciate Excel was already dropping Nat 20 for yours truly, as well as a Nat 1 for our players. They did a roll off. And Varys Ross, he managed to snag that Nat 1, which I'm sure will come in handy if he gets critted again sometime by something tonight. That Nat 1's going to come in handy. In the meantime, normally we don't carry over, but last session we really didn't do too much combat, if any combat that I can recall, other than the Paladin playing footsie with the Nereid. So I did carry over the party's Nat 20 from last week. So party, you do have a Nat 20 available for the group. And like I said, Varys, of course, you know you have the Nat 1. So what else? Also, if you would, what's that?
So my Nat 20 didn't carry over.
I didn't think you had one left. I thought you would use it because I had
Oh, it's possible I did.
Yeah, I thought you used it because I keep track of them here, and I only show the one left as a party. So
Okay, that's fine.
if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure you used it for something.
Backstabbed it.
Oh yeah,
That's right. You did. You did the backstab, and then you laid it to waste. So
yep.
cool. All right. So thanks for that, Ronnie. My memory is if it's past like first thing this morning, I start getting a little fuzzy. So anyway, like I said, please feel free to drop those tokens. If you want to help support the stream and the players, hang on just a second. Your idiot DM's not wearing shoes, and I just kicked the leg of my desk. Oh, that felt good. That felt really good. I do it all the time too. That's why I even wear shoes around the house. My kids will be like, "Why are you wearing shoes?" I'm like, "Because your dad is a klutz." Oh man, I caught my pinky toe. That hurt. All right, so we're back on track now. Now that I'm awoke, if you really want to help support the stream, you can, or as well as help the players out. In addition to the free tokens, if you are willing to drop $1 here or there for every 100 bits that you cheer, you can give a +1 to a dice roll to any one of our players, up to a maximum of a +5 at any one time. So they could have several +5s, but that's the max they could ever use at any one time. If they're like one shy, they could just, I want to use one of my +1s and kind of put me over the top for a successful roll. Those do carry over from session to session, because it's my personal belief, obviously, if you're going to be willing to spend your hard-earned coin to help support the stream, then we're going to go ahead and let that carry over. And as far as those go, I still have a +2. Barris still has his +5 and a +1. Deglin, you still have a +1. Ronnie, you still have a +2. Varys, you still have a +1. Zadkiel, you still have a +1. Lyrian, apologies, you have yet to earn any because you're the new guy, and so the stream has not yet quite caught up with you. But like I said, folks out there in Twitchville, if you are willing to help these guys out, for every 100 bits cheered, you can then pick a player to get a +1 onto their dice roll. With that being said,
we're talking about the new character smell.
Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah, the new character smell. He hasn't yet got his ass handed to him, but we're getting there. What else? If you haven't followed, please click that follow button. Where we just hit over 200 not too like 2 streams ago. Now we're at like 207, so we're slowly but surely creeping up there. So I encourage you to shout it from the rooftops, tell your friends, family, coworkers. There's no place else you'd rather be than watching this shit show on a Monday night, I can assure you. We have a merch store if you want to help support stream that way. Obviously, you can always support the stream with a subscription if you want. If you're not into subscriptions, we have a tip jar. A tip jar is a one-time thing, and the good thing about a tip jar is it goes right to the stream, as opposed to Twitch taking a 50-50 cut. So, you know, if for really not just for us, but if you're following anybody out there, if they have a tip jar, I encourage you to use that. Because like I said, it's not a recurring thing. It's a one-time thing. But yeah, I highly encourage. That's how I got my lighting. That's how I got my stream deck, is through tips and stuff. So definitely encourage that route if you want to help support streams anywhere. And lastly, if you are a follower of Greyhawk, we are a Greyhawk group, meaning the world of Greyhawk, created by Dungeons and Dragons creator Gary Gygax, one of the creators. I guess I should be politically correct for those out there that'll jump up and down saying he didn't create it, somebody else did. But Greyhawk was the first published world that I'm aware of, and so that's what I've been playing pretty much my whole life. And so we are a member of the Greyhawk Creatives group. So you can go check out that page on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/team/Greyhawk Creatives. I encourage you to go check that link out just because of the fact that there are a bunch of other content providers out there. And again, if you're a follower of this stream, you know Lord Gazoom was the one who created that team page as soon as he made partner. You got folks like Anna Meyer, Mike Disney, Blue Box, you name it. There's just a butt ton of good content created stuff out there for Greyhawk, and I encourage you to go check that page out to see who's what's what and where's where. So anyway, let's talk about where our party is and what they have been doing. Not too long ago, the party came to the edges of the jungle of the Amidio jungle, as you can see where they currently are on the map. They are running from probably a combination of slave lords and the Scarlet Brotherhood, who are also into slaving and whatnot. The party managed to ditch them, but in the meantime, or in doing so, lost their own vessel. And so they were traipsing through the jungle, and they stumbled upon these ancient ruins. And after a quick search around, they dug themselves, or they found themselves a way into the underside of the ruins, and hopefully, at least they think they did, they hid their entrance so that those who were following them would not be able to track their whereabouts. And so they descended into the dungeons and caverns and whatnot below the hidden shrine of Tomoa Khan, and for better or worse, have been working their way through this complex maze of tricks and traps and otherwise weird things that have been left by an ancient civilization known as the Olman race. Shouldn't really say the Olman are ancient because they are still around, but at least this particular area was ancient Olman. And so our party, having descended a couple of levels into the hidden shrine, now have found their way through this little tiny sort of a hidden passage that came out on the backside of a statue that was up against a wall. So they came to the back of this. Varys managed to figure out how to get it open, and it opened up, and they found themselves in the middle of the wall. It was about a 4-foot drop, 5-foot drop, whatever it was, to the main passageway on the other side. And they have discovered a door, and there's leaking water coming from everywhere, and there's mud along the floor that they currently stand on. And so when last we met, that was where our party found themselves. You were standing at these doors that have this mud kind of seeping out from underneath it, or you're not sure, it could be mud coming from the other way seeping up under the door that you're standing in. So you're not sure if it's really coming from the door or it's coming from behind you, going underneath the Zor. But that being said, let us return to where we left off. As I said, you guys find yourselves standing in this 10-foot wide tunnel, and I can give you that little bit of a description again. Give me just a second to sort of get, and I think I gave you guys, there was a picture as well, so why don't we do that? I'll give a picture of the hallway that you guys came out of. Let me do that real quick, just so for people that weren't with us last time, and it was this one. And so this was the statue that you guys came out from behind, and you found that there were a couple of obsidian gems as well as this blade over the top of its back that seemed to be apart from the statue itself. And so Varus went to get up on top of it, but his weight caused the whole thing to topple and collapse on top of him, and he took a little bit of damage, not too much, but he managed to evade the brunt of this statue collapsing on him. But it's now sort of stuck at this 45-degree angle. Its head and headdress against the far wall, its ankles and feet against the wall you guys came crawling out of. But you did manage to get those obsidian stones if you didn't already. I think I already gave them to you, Ferris. Correct me if I'm wrong. Polished obsidian.
Yeah, they and the sword are in the treasure journal.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, and then as I said, you guys went to the north a little bit and came to this set of doors. They're iron-bound wood doors that lead beyond, and then the tunnel you guys saw went around the corner. I don't think you ever went down to the corner to see how far it went the other way as you go to the south, but you are now standing, you and Deglin are now standing in front of these iron-bound doors with this mud that you think is leaking out from under the door, but it's quite possible that it's coming from the other direction because it's not really flowing any direction. It's just sort of built up here. And it is up to you guys what you want to do now.
Well, we wanted to check this door out, right?
Sounds good to me.
I think so.
That was that's where we left off, anyway.
That is correct.
I want to check it for traps.
Okay, go ahead and give me a check for traps. The door you check appears not to be trapped.
Does it look like it's locked?
Good question. Let me double check.
A lot of the doors weren't locked, but you never know.
Yeah. No. But you will say as you inspect them, as you sort of wipe away some of the dirt and kind of check it out, the doors themselves are made of bronze and they're tinted blue with a little bit of oxidation. But they're not. They don't appear to be locked. And as I said, you don't find any traps.
Well, Nathan, do you want to pull it open or push it open?
Yeah, they push inward into whatever's beyond.
All right. Yep. I'll ready my blade and let Caitlin push it open.
All right. So the first thing you can see is that these doors open up into a chamber of some kind that appears to be completely flooded. There's a set of stairs that descend into the chamber beyond. You're not sure if the chamber beyond was supposed to be flooded or it is just flooded because of now. But anyway, a short hall ending in steps down lead into this central chamber. The chamber itself is flooded with a brackish water, meaning that it's very dark and slimy looking, and you can't see anywhere below the surface, even from here. A central hall flanked by narrow aisles is formed by 2 rows of massive square columns that support the overhead. The walls themselves appear to be coated with slime, and there are vile glowing lines etched across them. From what can be seen of these chamber walls, the stone appears to be crudely worked. 2 corroded bronze braziers stand thigh-deep in the brackish water. Toward the middle of the room, 2 broken urns, apparently once about 4 feet tall each, huddle in the water. In the darkness on the eastern wall appears to be a growth of some sort, which gleams as vilely as the slime trails, burning with a greenish hue. So basically, you just see a bunch of slime-covered gunk completely flooding this chamber. There are numerous columns, these square stone columns, supporting the ceiling, and the columns running down either side of the chamber form aisles on the outside. So between the it's kind of like a church. If you walk down the church, they got the pews kind of in the middle, and then they have some columns, and then it's got the outer aisles that run down the sides. That's kind of what these pillars kind of form. In the middle of the chamber, as I said, you could see these urns and other stuff sort of sticking up out of the water. Not sure how big they really are because you're not sure how deep the water is. And then in the very far right-hand corner, all the way across the room, there's some sort of a growth growing on the walls or whatever. And it has this greenish glint to it, and you can see the same kind of greenish slimy glint covering the walls of the chamber. But the other thing that I want to mention is that immediately inside this hall, or inside the door to the left and to the right, you can see 2 small alcoves. These small anterooms contain what appear to be old fountains. Think of, like, again, walking into a church and they got like the holy water basin there, right? There's one on the left. In this case, there's one on the left and there's one on the right. The fountain on the right is drained and empty. And there appears to be a lot of rubbish sort of all over the floor up in the one-hand corner. The fountain on the left still appears to hold some kind of green, scummy water. And it looks like there might be something moving in the water.
Fun. Well, hey Ronnie, you want him to figure out what the stuff is?
I can detect pure water and identify it without any issues.
Might need to burn some stuff again.
As soon as Ronnie goes to step in there, suddenly coming up out of the trash, you hear screeching sounds as a small horde of giant rats comes pouring after you. I need somebody give me a D6 surprise roll, please. All right, nobody is surprised. So before we get into combat, let's talk about actions here. Let me get back to my session notes. All right. Barris is in the back, so he's not going to do anything, but he has a bow ready, but he's really not going to be able to do anything right now. Deglin, actions?
Could I just close the door?
You
Like,
sure
get
can.
those guys back in and close the door.
Sure, you can do whatever you guys want. Is that what you're going to do? Close the door?
If they start running back towards me, then I'll wait for them to get through, and then I'll close the door.
Okay, Lyrian. Lyrian, actions?
I'm going to maintain my original statement, and I'm going to back these guys up with the bow, and my target's another giant rats.
Okay. Ronnie, you see these... and Ronnie, you immediately recognize these rats as diseased as well. You can see that they have a mottled fur that's kind of falling off as if there's some sort of a disease, and some of them have like foaming at the mouth type of a view. So you definitely realize that they are sick as well as wild.
Roger. Well, if I have a moment, I'll certainly express that they are diseased.
Okay.
And I'm casting a spell.
Okay. Varys.
Turning invisible and running out.
Okay. All right. Zadkiel.
Yeah, I'm in charge.
All right. As everybody runs out, Zadkiel's running in. Okay. Let us then begin combat. As the party gains the initiative, so Barris is up first, and so he is just going to move into the hallway Let's see, he'll move. Yeah, he can only, yeah. He's going to move his thing, but he can't do anything. And he's going to move down the hall a little bit and sort of, just in case anybody wants to retreat, he's going to stay back. Deglin, you are just holding yours until you decide what they're going to do?
Yeah, if they come through the door, then I'm going to close the door. If they don't, then I'm going to start hitting rats.
Gotcha. Lyrian.
I fire at the rats that are descending upon the lead characters.
Okay. What do you... Oh, your bow?
Yes. I
All right.
see any tokens there.
Yep. You are probably not able to see them yet. Because they have not, like, it's not their turn. So, yeah, now you could probably see the one.
I fire at roll 1.
Okay.
Short bow is +5 to hit.
Nice.
15 would be an unnatural 20. So that's 1d6 plus 2 times 2.
Nice.
5, 10 points of damage.
As you skewer the rat and it you hear the squeal as your arrow pierces right through its brain, sending it back skittering and crashing into the refuse that's lying on the floor behind it.
If
as
there's
you
no
see it.
immediate other target, I'll hold the second arrow until the target bails itself.
Can you see the other rat there?
Hang on, I have to get rid of the pop-ups here.
I'm not sure if you can see the other one. There's
Oh yeah, I can. He's
in the corner. This is probably the one that over here you could see.
You can see that one.
Yep. Oh, it's interesting. Anyway, I will discuss as soon as I made some mods to our to the modules that were on there because I was told that the when you click and hold, it used to do the little pointer or whatever. It doesn't do that now because I was told it was now part of the base system or the base the underlying
version.
Yeah, I was told it was in version 9, but I guess it's not
No, it's
until
in
version 10. Yeah, so that's what yeah, so I got rid of that so I guess I'm gonna have to figure out a way to show you guys, just put like a little X or something out there. But anyway, my apologies. Go ahead and do your second shot.
Fair enough. Hang on. Uh, 9 plus 5 would be 14, which would be armor class 19.
Hits.
Okay.
Yep, they have armor class 7.
4 plus 2 would be 12 points of damage.
Nice. As the second rat is gone, is blown away. Ronnie No Blight.
DM, I cast invisibility to animals by rubbing some holly all over myself.
All right. You are now invisible to the rats.
Yes.
Zadkiel.
What's all the commotion?
A horde of rats.
A horde of
Is that where you're stopping?
Well, yeah, unless I can go further.
Oh yeah, you said you were going to charge in there, so I thought you were going to charge all the way into the alcove or whatever. So that's.
I don't know. I saw bodies here, so I didn't figure.
Oh yeah, no, you can. No, you can. You can't go there because that's on top of the water fountain.
Oh, okay. All right. Can I attack them?
Yeah, I'll let you attack.
Are they are they half a hit die?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they are.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack all of them.
Great. Hits. And your sword's a +2 and your strength and everything, so that first one's down. You don't even have to roll damage. Just if you hit.
I don't know how many I hit, but what was
Well,
it?
you
My
have to
level
do.
plus?
No, I forget. Isn't it? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, did I do a hit on each one? You mean?
I thought you had a hit on each one, but I could be.
Okay, I can do that.
I could be wrong. I'm not a.
That hit?
Yep. And last.
Did that hit?
Yep. As the last of them are taken out. Didn't take very long to dispose of said rats.
I tell the party, good job for dispatching those diseased monstrosities.
Oh, they were diseased. No worries. I'm cleansed. I'm cleansed by my God.
I do want to I do just want to have to say we're going to have to make a tweak. I think for charging it's got to be a straight line charge, right? For charging, you're just sort of rushing in and swinging your blade down and not running and zigzagging and whatever the case may be. But
I'd also say no blocked path.
well, I mean, technically, I don't mind if there's a little spot for him to get through. I've never really had an issue with somebody kind of moving through your own party.
I always looked at it if you're gonna do a 4 bonus, it had to be a straight line, kind of like.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Instead of a charge, you can only charge if it's a straight line charge. You can't like go around corners and move in and out of things. But anyway,
As far as combat maps go, you may consider like a 5-foot shift in order to make straight lines actually work
Yeah.
on the map.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
and Cardman gave us another party 20.
what? Come on, man. Come on, man. That's okay. I feel you. Thanks,
I'm going
Carmen.
to check out this water in this fountain and see what if it's potable or not.
You can see that it's the water is in the one on the other side. This one is completely dried. And the one thing that you notice is that the limestone on these walls are very sort of wet and slimy. Even in this pot here on the north end, which is where you're at. I'm sorry, not the north, on the east end where you're at. You can see that. Yeah. Well, I should say, give me. First, let me kind of unfuck my tongue here. Where you're at, even though it's sort of dried up, it's still sort of wet limestone and whatnot in there. And as you look in the bottom, you can see a glint of something metallic buried in the limestone, Ronnie. The one on the other side, the western one, still has fluid water in it, sort of halfway filled, but it's still white, gunky, and murky, and completely full of like puttied limestone, if you will. Sort of like wet milk sitting in the one on the west. But where you're standing, you can see that it has limestone, wet limestone in here. It's a little more dry than the one that's full of liquid, but there is something metallic glinting down inside the limestone itself.
All right, I'll tell Varys, hey, there's something stuck in that limestone down there. I'm going to go investigate that milk bottle down there.
Yeah, be careful. And I'm gonna take my 10-foot pole, see if I can fish the item out, or at least pull it up so it's not in the limestone, or it can be grabbed with like a glove or something.
Okay. So you do manage to sort of poke and pry it away. The limestone sort of seeping and coating the tippy end of your pole, and you manage to pull it out with your glove.
I'm gonna wash it off a little bit.
using your water, like a water skin? Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of water.
Yeah. You wash it off and you find an amulet. It's a gold amulet with a gemstone hanging at the base. It has sort of some sort of an unknown shape to it. So you're not sure what the amulet is for, but it definitely looks old. Probably some religious icon for some long forgotten deity or something.
Okay. Well,
Since,
another
Tony-
item to put in the pile to be identified.
All right,
Ronnie-
DM, down here at this other well,
Yep.
Yeah,
without
Tony's,
touching
if
the
Tony's coming
water.
down to investigate it, I throw a gold piece in and pray to the gods. Something for him to find when he digs into it.
Okay. Yeah. You get down there, Ronnie. Like I said, it's milky because the limestone is there's water in there, and the limestone is just sort of mixed with the water. So it gives it sort of this yellowish, milky kind of a oozy color to it. It's completely opaque, so you can't see anything beneath the surface at all.
Well, DM, I'm going to rotate my right hand over the water
Okay.
and mumble some druidic words
Okay.
and cast Purify Water.
Okay.
Effect, and I'll leave you to do the math. 1 cubic foot per level
Okay.
in a 10-foot square area. And I'm level 7. So whatever that is.
Okay. So you manage to completely clean the liquid in there of any limestone or any impurities whatsoever. They just sort of fade away and meld back into the walls and the edges of the well. Now you can see the perfectly clear water. It's still a little dark, but at the bottom of the water you can see what appears to be a gold coin.
I'm going to point that gold coin out, and then
It's your lucky
I'm going to
day.
use the water to slick my hair back because I've been running around down here so much. I'm going to
Okay.
use that pure, clean water on my hair.
I'm going
Okay.
to refill my water skin if it's...
All right. You've
You're right.
refilled. You have been able to refill your water skin.
Yeah.
And as you're filling your water skin, Varys, you see at the bottom of this little well, it's about 2 foot deep to the bottom of the well. The well itself is about 4 feet deep, but the bottom of the innards of it's about 2 feet. You can see that there is the glint of a gold coin.
Did you throw this in here?
Is he addressing me?
Yeah. I'm looking at
Oh, I hate to walk by a fountain and not make a wish. You know, superstition.
well, I mean, that's a legitimate thing to do. Especially in this weird place.
Struck it rich yet.
I'm gonna land the whole coin and ask Ronnie, what does he think? Is there real, do we want to mess with the water and slime in this area? Or do we want to just turn around and go the other way?
Well, that's hard to say. I'll go up on those stairs and investigate that water and see what kind it is, and if it's quality water.
Beware of, we know we've met green slime before, so beware of green slime.
You can see that the water is brackish and murky, and the entire place, it has like a slight layer of scum across the top of it, as well as the limestone on the walls. You could see the whole place is just like covered in slime and ooze. In particular, along the walls themselves, you can see like this glinting trail of slime that's like zigzagged in various haphazard patterns, for the lack of a better term. the entire place. But the water itself is very scummy, brackish green and yellowish kind of color mixed with the limestone, as well as just plain old stagnant water. Has a really strong stagnant smell to it. So it is definitely impure water, and Ronnie knows right off the bat there's nothing that he has that's powerful, or he's not powerful enough to cleanse this entire room, because there's no telling how deep the water is, because you can see stairs going down into it. You're not sure how far the stairs, but the stairs you're on, it's like a 1 foot drop per stair. So if there's like 2 or 3 stairs, then the water is probably at least 2 or 3 feet deep at a minimum.
Well, I can't turn into a bird because I already did it.
So what do we want to do then?
Can we see the far end of this room, DM, or does it could go beyond our sight?
As far as you can currently see, that's how far you can see. And the room looks like it goes at least past the last couple of pillars that Varys can see.
And we can't stand on those pillars. They go all the way to
That
the
is
roof?
correct. They go from up out of the water to help go up support the roof. Each one's about 2 foot square, give or take.
Well,
I
I
checked
say we
this-
turn around and go back. Let's move on to swimming.
Well, while they're investigating the water, I'm going to check the southwestern wall behind the fountain for any
Okay.
sort of secret doors.
Okay, go ahead and give me a search check. You search and search, and even your elven talents cannot help you. You find no other hidden panels or passages or anything.
So if we don't think that slime is going to come crawling over here and attack us, this might not be a bad room with portable water. Only one door that you have to close and can basically bar, and one entrance is a 5 foot square for them to get through the eastern wall. It's a very defensible position for us.
You guys running out of...
It's not a bad idea. Then Ronnie can cheap change some more.
Well, I do have a potion of flying that I could imbibe, and I could fly and hook a rope around each one of those pillars, and we could crawl between the pillars and get to the far side.
That's a lot of rope.
If there's no path for us to continue on that side of the wall, we probably wouldn't go that way anyway.
Well, yeah, I could get. You're right. Maybe I could fly over there and see,
Use
or
your
we
magic
could
how you
shoot a
want.
flame arrow over there and see if we can see anything.
I don't have a trick arrow like that, but if you have one, I'd be happy to fire it.
Wrap an arrow with cloth and set it on fire.
I mean,
We do have oil, right?
Yeah.
We do.
Sure, I can expend an arrow for you.
I am down to my last flask, I think.
I think I got 4 still.
Yep, I only have 1 left.
Yeah, Barris doesn't have any oil. Oh, I take it back. He's got one flask of oil left.
I still have.
Okay. Well, you guys just need to decide what you want to do and let me know.
I will expend the arrow and erase it because I'm sure I can't get that one back. But while I prepare to do that, I just want to double check with you. We have 2 rats that are quote unquote diseased, so I was told they were diseased. I'm going to carefully see if I can retrieve either of the 2 arrows from the rat.
Yes, you can. You get 1 arrow back.
Thank you. That is the arrow that I will use to fire across the room.
All right, I need you to fire an arrow, armor class 6, please. If who's giving up the oil? And it really, you don't have to give up a whole flat. I'm just going to say you're going to use some of your oil to put some on a thing and torch and light it. And
can we use a sling?
well, you fired the arrow instead.
Yeah, I can do it.
I got a sling with some bullets.
All right, the arrow's fired, but I can't find what I rolled. Hang on.
You rolled a 16.
Ah, that should hit. Hey, look at that.
As the arrow lights up, I'm just gonna move you in where you can see. As the arrow hits the other side, you see it flashes past before it strikes something solid, and it extinguishes. But in that instant, you can see that there is apparently another set of stairs leading up out of the water on the other side.
Your idea with the rope might be a good one.
Do we
Or
have
do we use
enough
the boat?
rope?
Yeah,
Or I
we could use the
suppose
boat.
I might, if I can carry you guys, I could one at a time shuttle you to the other side of the room. I'm not sure how much I can carry with that fly potion.
Well, use the magic boat, and let's just go house.
Or the folding boat. There you go.
I mean,
We'll use that folding boat to solve every problem.
We can,
it's useful.
my horse can pull it across. Oh wait,
Exactly. You don't have your horse.
is it summoned like magically?
No.
It would take months.
What a stupid horse!
All right, so what do you want to do? We want to try to get across the water. We're going to go back and see where the other tunnel goes. What do we want to do?
Yeah, there is that other tunnel.
You want to rest and
Question I pose is,
You
why
want
is there
to-
water here?
Yeah, he just purified that whole fountain.
But why is there water here?
Probably seeping in from above.
yep.
Well,
Probably.
let's see. We can hear noises for leaking water.
Okay,
I mean,
give me a listen check.
I look at the rogue.
I mean, if you need some fresh water, get some out of that fountain to, below me.
I'll take a suggestion and listen.
All
I
right.
say, why are we scared of the water?
What do your elven ears?
Isn't that where your horse went?
Yeah, you hear nothing. You hear nothing other than the normal creaking sounds and the occasional little drip, drip, as water seeping off the wall and plunking into the room.
Well, there's slime on the walls and in the water. It may
Kinda
be
slime.
it may be harmless, or there might be a creature, or it might be some kind of ooze or slime.
Where is the slime? Point at it.
It's in the water and it's along the walls.
Step back. I'm going to hit the slime that's on the wall with a sling bullet.
Okay, roll to hit an armor class -3.
Okay.
Duck and cover.
Oh, what's your dexterity?
16, so I got a 20.
All right, so let's see.
-3, you said?
Yep, you needed a 17 to hit, so you hit as the sling bullet slams into the slime, knocking a small chunk of the wall out, both of them clattering and splashing bloop bloop with a heavy thunk.
Does it look like it moves?
No,
Well, there you go.
it's slime on the wall.
It's sliming the wall. It doesn't seem to be
Well,
slime that's alive.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to be cautious.
Of course not. You mean
But it's icky.
But feel free to go in all you want, Paladin.
Go
Are we
for a
going to
swim.
use it? Why don't we just use that folding boat and just walk right across?
Well, that's why I
Well,
said
the boat
earlier.
itself is the folding boat's a different size, right? It's like 24 feet by 8 foot by 6
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, it's a big boat.
Yep.
Okay,
So
well, unfold it halfway.
Well,
Well, it does
even
have-
at that
it
size, doesn't it still get us across? 24 foot long? That's not as long as this room is it?
no, it'd be 5, 10, 50. It'd come out to about the second pillar, second set of pillars.
Well, there you go. We can just row right across. I drew too large a boat.
I have expended and expelled a lot of magic through my body. I would like to rest myself.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I had no issue with Lyrian and, you know, maybe resting here. We got fresh water in this mountain. Anyone that needs more water
We have food.
can refill your water skins.
Those rats, we can cook them until the disease is gone.
Oh, I'm not.
I wouldn't trust that, bro.
Paladin can eat him anyway because he's not going to get diseased.
You know what, DM? I'm just on a hunch going to check for secret doors up on this
Okay, go ahead and
end
give me
up
a
here.
go ahead and give me a check.
What are you doing, Druid?
Ronnie searches, digs through the rat's nest and everything. He finds 4 gold coins, but no hidden passages or tunnels or anything.
Druid,
Fire
were you
those
doing?
gold coins into that large pool of water.
Okay.
what are you looking for, Druid?
Just in case there's a secret door to go around this, there might be a way around this that bypasses that water.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Well,
By the way, if you find any gold, I drop some somewhere around here.
I did just fire 4 gold coins into that big pond.
What? I'm just
Oh, you into the room? I thought you meant into the water of the well.
No, that big pond.
Okay. You watch as the coins sort of blink, 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 and disappear into the water, as well as
Did you ever try skipping?
yeah, as well as you find no secret doors or anything on the other side of the chamber as well.
Well, guys, it looks like if we wanted to place to rest, this is probably as secure as any place.
very well.
All right.
Right. To sleep right here.
Who's
I've
taking
memorized
first
the
watch?
ability I would love to be on first watch. I have the ability to cast a spell to detect magic one last time. If we want to take the gathered party treasure that's picked out, we might be able to at least identify what needs to be looked at closer later.
See the treasure.
Is it anybody hurt really bad?
yeah, I got healing spells. Like,
I would
down.
love healing. I would love healing if you had it on the way to bed.
I've got 3 cure light wounds on me if anybody needs them.
I can lay hands on myself.
All right, so let's do this one at a time. Ronnie, you cast Cure Light Wounds on who?
Whoever it was that just said they needed one.
Lyrian.
Lyrian. I would gladly take Cuthbert's blessing.
You need another one?
Just one should suffice. I'm only down 1 point.
Oh, well, there's
I
5.
need
Well,
one.
yeah, who's down further? Because Zadkiel is you're down 18. I would probably use it on you.
let me do a cure serious wounds on him.
Okay.
Yeah, who's serious?
Because the paladin has to use it all or none, right? It's not like he can.
7. So I got 2 of them. I can give you another
That's okay. I can touch myself.
one. Don't do that in front of me.
All right,
Yeah,
so
that's what he
you're
says
So
when
I
he's
touch
not
myself
eating
with healing.
all right. So and you do how many?
I do
12.
12.
All right, so Paladin is back up to his max.
I'm only down 5.
I can give you a
I'll
cure
get
light
Varys.
wound.
So go ahead
Are
and
you gonna
cast.
get-
Sure.
Well, there's 2 lousy ones, Varys. Let me drop my last one on you.
All right,
There you
got a
go.
total of 9 back for Varys.
go. Anybody else? Still got 2 cure light wounds and 1 cure serious.
Yeah, I think everybody is back to max.
All right, except for me, I got to do one on myself. Do it. Yep, that put me.
Everybody's back to max. All right.
All right.
Barris comes in, closing the door behind him. You guys are going to rest for the evening, I assume?
He said something about detect magic on the items we got.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
There's a list in the treasure handout, treasure journal on the
Hang on, I'm trying to find where that might be.
If you open up journals,
So journal tab.
Starting from which one? September.
Oh well, it starts from
Bag of holding?
No, that says should say
treasure.
treasure.
10-4, got it.
Yeah, look at like September 12th on.
yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, it's up to you, DM. Is there anything in particular in the file? All right.
Yep. So the stone baton is magical.
All right, I will update the journal.
Yep. The scroll is obviously magical. The
Wait a minute. Let me scroll down to find the red scroll.
yeah, it's September 19th session. There's a scroll.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right, that's magic. The silver inlaid jeweled ring is magical.
Okay.
And the broken mace, it's actually just the head of the mace. It's got just like a little small piece of the broken shaft on it, but it's mostly the mace head. It is magical as well.
Enchantment?
Yeah, no, it's well, yeah, it's probably enchantment magic.
We'll put in a sock.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it. All the other stuff's normal.
Yeah.
Okay. And the amulet I just found, that's normal too.
That is correct. Yeah, it's just a.
All right. Who wiped out my notes?
No, they're still there. I'm looking at them. Here,
Yeah.
I'll close it.
Yeah,
Before
I
the
will-
spell runs out, I just want to move up to where the steps move to the water and scan the room quickly with what I can see. In the room, it's magical.
Somebody's in the journal.
I'm
I
just
closed it. I closed it. So just to make sure that I didn't do anything with it, I wasn't
Yeah,
changing anything.
Well, it changed everything I was doing. Somebody was in it. So,
Yeah, but I'm just saying is I don't understand why you can't look at it if somebody else is editing it. You can't have two people have it open at once.
No.
That's kind of
It's a
odd.
foundry.
Well, I had opened it, but I closed it now.
Yeah.
It erased everything, so I had to redo it all.
All right. The range of magic is 60 feet. I think we said it was.
That is correct. I think it's the cleric version is 12. The magic user is 6.
Right.
Squares.
Let me see. I don't believe there was anything.
I get out to about the second pillar in distance, and that's about it.
Yep. Yeah, as you're sort of see, it was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, you can actually get almost, I mean, at least in the range of the center of the room to the third pillar, because it's 60 feet, each square is 5 feet. So
I take it nothing is glowing.
Yeah, no, you detect nothing in the chamber itself. It appears to be magical.
I report that to the party as I move back to the corner.
Alright. I think I got everything fixed. You can double check it when you have a minute, Sean.
Okay. Just seeing if I could drop, but I didn't. All right, let me go back here. Open up the treasure. Set magical. Oh, I forgot. The dagger of some sort of silvery material is magical as well.
Alright, I'll end that.
Yep, and I just closed. Lyrian, give me a D6, please.
Yes, sir. Hang on.
Is Lyrium the one with the missing foot?
No, that's Barris. It's not a missing foot. It's just a mangled foot. What'd you roll, a 2?
I'm going back to find it because I'm rolling. It didn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
it showed. Yeah, you rolled a 2.
It's not showing it to me in the chat, which is weird.
And now give me a die 24. And the easiest way to do that is just click on the bottom to like roll D20. There you go. Well, this will work too.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
I don't know how I got a +1 on that.
I don't know either. So actually a 6.
2 to 5, maybe.
The scroll that you had unidentified, I'm just going to go ahead and it's a scroll of ESP.
Ah, we can watch a football game.
All right.
So if you want to update that note, update that note, because I noted that, that wasn't indicated what that scroll was, but
So the scroll ESP.
like I said, now we are going to take a rest for the night so everybody can do their thing and replenish their supplies. Or is there anything else? Or are we just going to leave here and go the other way? What do you guys want to do?
I'd like to rest. I'd like to be on first watch if you guys don't mind, just so that I can spend last watch changing out spells.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, who's taking second watch?
I'll take.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take turn.
Okay. And then these are 2-hour watches, so one more person to take a watch. I'll have Barris. So there's 4 watches. All right. As you guys manage to take your rest, it's eerie kind of sleeping in here, and in the wake of this dungeon that you guys have been traipsing through, dirty and grimy. The limestone, you can't even sit up against the walls because the limestone eats into armor, eats into your hands, eats into your fingers, so you can't even sleep up against the walls. So it's rather difficult and uncomfortable at times, but you manage to get your rest, waking up unmolested in the quote-unquote morning, if it is indeed morning. You're not sure what time of day it is, but you know that at least you got rest spellcasters have renewed their ability and their arcane skills. What do we do now?
Give me a second. I'm just changing out spells.
Well, I vote we use the boat and cross this pool of water.
Okay. You guys can definitely do that if you so desire.
Or we can go back the way we came and go up that other hallway.
I mean, I think we should go check the other hallway first. Before we.
I'm all for covering our trail before we cross the water. But before we leave this campsite, I would like to cast armor on myself.
Okay.
I then follow in with the troops as a bowman.
Right. I'm just following you guys. As you move back out into the hall, you see that the mud that was in the hallway has creeped into this room a little bit. So it gives you an indication that the mud was not flowing out of this room. It's flowing towards this room. So it's coming down the hall from the direction in which you are currently headed now, Varys. As you get down the hall, you see that it turns, heading back to the east, runs for about 15 feet or so and ends in a door. And you can see that, in fact, the sludge is seeping out from beneath this bronze and wood door, whatever the material is made out of. Okay. You traipse down the middle of the hall, stomping in the mud like a kid with galoshes. Or words to that effect. Okay.
God damn it! I'm talking with my mic on. Alright, so what is this thing to the right of the door? Along the wall
Rubble.
here? Is it just rubble?
Yeah, it just indicates rubble.
Oh, okay. I'd like to examine the door to make sure it's not gonna, like, flood us if we open it, or anything like that. So.
Okay. The door does not appear to be trapped at all.
Alright. Is it locked?
It is not, and it pulls toward you.
Alright. Have at it, Jason.
You open the door, and this apartment is wet, and the walls are covered with a slimy white buildup. You can see there's about 1.5 inches of water, as well as a thorough mixing of dirt, making a mud blanket across the entire floor. Within the room are many overturned pedestals and pieces of broken statuary lying on the floor, partially buried in the mud in places. Only one pedestal in the northwest corner remains standing. On it sits a small metallic 3-sided pyramid. Overhead in the shadow-draped ceiling are inlaid colored tiles depicting a starry sky and forming strange patterns in the areas above the pedestals. Opposite the entrance to this room, you see another door. You can... hang on just a sec. Where is... Am I reading the right one? I might be reading the wrong one. Give me a sec. something is. I think I read the wrong one. Sorry, hang on just a sec. There's something that I did, and I got something messed up. Sorry, I apologize. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Yep, that's why. Okay, hang on just a second. I don't know why I was looking, I was like, why is that token in the middle of there? It's like, oh, because...
Is that a wayward rat?
Yeah, because he's not there. That's why. I had him in the wrong room. That's why. I was like, what the heck am I doing? Okay. So, there we go. So again, up here in the upper left-hand corner, you can see that there is a pedestal with sort of this triangular pyramid shape on it. Now I have to go back and find out where that's the downside of working off a PDF instead of just having the book open where I should. Anyway, like I said, it's wet. Walls are covered with slimy white buildup. There's 1.5 inches of water and mud blanketing the floor. You can see many overturned pedestals, broken statuary, etc. Only one pedestal in the northwest corner remains standing. On it sits a small metallic 3-sided pyramid. Overhead, the shadow-draped ceiling are inlaid colored tiles depicting a starry sky forming strange patterns in the areas above the pedestals. Opposite the entrance is another door. Let's see. And the last thing is you can see right above the well, actually, yeah, you can't quite see it from here. So, but on the other door, there's stuff like all over the walls by the far door, but you can't really tell what it is. But anyway.
Well, hey Ronnie.
Yeah.
You want to go grab that pyramid and bring it to me?
How's Ronnie gonna go over there and take a pyramid?
I mean, you can fly, right?
You can turn into a bird of some sort. And
I'm
fly.
just,
Hard to grip that pyramid.
I'm mostly messing with you, but
So how deep is the mud?
yeah, I poked
About-
my
It's
10-foot pole.
It's about 1 inch deep, just sort of like
Oh.
just
Oh,
enough
so it
to
didn't
leave
even
it in.
come up over our boots.
No,
Yeah.
just enough to kind of make the floor slippery wet.
Hmm. Alright, I'll take my time
Okay.
and go over to the pyramid.
All
or the
right.
pedestal.
As you approach the far door, you can see that a dark, wet mass clinging to the wall above the door comes into sight. Upon closer inspection, it appears green in color.
Back up.
It's above the door. It's nowhere near the pyramid. It's above. It's
Okay.
around and above the door.
Alright. There might be slime by the door. Be careful.
All right.
As you okay, as you walk through the room, you can see that the statuary that has all fallen and broken and stuff appeared to be made of some kind of a stucco material, and they look to be the remains of the iconography for gods of the Olman deities. You can see like a crab head, a coyote, an alligator-headed god, etc., a feathered warrior, a jaguar. Various Olman gods are depicted by this iconography that has been fallen and busted on the floor. As I said, the only thing that remains upright is it's a little pedestal with a silver pyramid.
Look for traps on the pedestal.
Okay.
Do some Indiana Jones here.
Yeah. No, does not appear to be trapped.
Take a bag,
Okay.
put it over the pyramid, and like scoop it into the pyramid.
Okay.
Scoop it into the bag.
Okay. It's a little heavy, maybe weighs about a pound or so, but it easily falls into the bag, and you capture this small three-sided pyramid made of silver.
Someday our parents are going to come out of the bathroom after taking a shower and step on that little guy.
DM, as he moves back over near the party,
Yep.
I am going to rub my fingers together
Okay.
and produce flame,
Okay.
and it affects 112 square, so that'd be 120 feet.
Okay.
That whole green slime area, or well, allegedly green slimed area, I'm going to produce fire.
Okay.
on it.
So the flame begins to sizzle and pop, and you watch as this green stuff sort of smokes and dries a little bit, but then the flames eventually burn out, leaving still a bunch of this wet, goopy mess. There's now smoke filling in the room as the wet greenery is still sort of sputtering and flaming from the flames produced by Ronnie. A sort of a thick, blackish kind of smoke is emanating from the now burning green material, whatever it may be.
Does that actually?
Nice job on the clay pot.
What'd you say, Dego?
Is it actually moving away from the fire? Is it
No,
moving
it's
at
not.
all?
It's just sitting there.
Okay.
And
So
you know how
it's
if you
not-
like take a bunch of wet leaves and set them on fire, there just smoke everywhere. That's kind of what's coming off of it now, filling up this area of the room with this sort of thick blackish white, or gray smoke, really, not black or white. It's more grayish smoke, but
Yeah.
But it's
And
not
it's safe and
sentient,
sorry.
so
Yep.
it's not alive.
does not appear alive now.
Well, that's good. Don't take no chances.
We want to check this room or just go through the.
Well, let's. I'm gonna go. You said there was writing or something on the door, maybe?
No.
Or no?
No,
Okay.
no, there was nothing, no writing or anything anywhere that you guys have found. It's just the green gunk stuff that is currently smoking above the door.
Okay. Examine the door for traps.
Does not appear to be trapped, and it pulls into the room.
Alright. I'll let Declan open it if he wants.
All right. Well, we got to get Zadkill back up here, and where's Barris?
I'm moving Barris just because.
Oh,
But
Come on, Paladin.
all right. Didn't open the door then.
opening the door, you can see a flight of stairs running up, leading into another hallway.
Up is good.
Check traps.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for traps on the inside the door and up the stairs.
Okay. You find no traps, and as you get to the top of the stairs, you can see the hallway runs to the east for about 20 feet before it ends in another door.
See another door up here at the top of the stairs. Well, at the end.
It looks drier that way.
I'll look for traps in the hall. Come up to the door.
Okay. What now?
I'm just waiting for people. Come on, Paladin.
Can't move the screen.
Sometimes
There it goes.
Yeah, sometimes it messes when you try to go through doors or hallways.
You gotta be smarter than the mouse, man. Click and drag, click and drag.
Look for traps on this door.
It does not appear to be trapped. It's probably one of the safest doors you've found yet.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to open it?
Yeah, sure. We might get out of this place.
This door opens into a large chamber that appears to be constructed of large stone blocks, but trussed in the corners. The walls are wet and slimy, and mud covers most of the floor in a thin coating, just as the room you guys left. In the center of the chamber, there sits a large polished boulder amid a pile of smaller rounded rocks. The boulder is about 5 feet tall, colored brown with dark streaks and spots. Leaning against it is what appears to be a bamboo staff. To the left and right can be seen stone doors recessed into the wall. Hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
it sounded like the sound went off for a second.
No, I just finished saying what I was saying.
Alright, poke the staff in on the mud. See how deep it is?
It's just like the other room, although I have to say that this mud is very slimy and slick with the limestone. So it definitely appears to be slippery.
Well, might need to use them. What do you want to do? It's a little slippery. Might be dangerous for people. Oh,
Yeah.
have at it.
I'll cover you with a bow.
Alright, I'm gonna carefully walk up to here.
All right.
I see these stairs.
Yes, you can see what appears to be a door off to the right, and then there is a door across the chamber, and there's a recessed set of stairs going down to the left. But the most interesting thing that you see is that as soon as you begin to enter into the room, well, first of all, another stonework door can be discerned in the shadow across the room, right? So as I said, all the way across the chamber, you can see. In the mud around the base of the boulder in the center of the room, you can see a small moving shape. And as it moves, it begins to move a little bit toward you. You see it's actually a crayfish, maybe 3 inches long, a couple inches wide, 2 little cute pincers. And as it's moving towards you, you can actually hear sound, like almost like a hissing, chittering sound. And you realize that it's speaking in some dialect of the Olman language as it's coming toward you.
Hey, Ronnie, can you talk to animals?
Yeah, I gotta cast the spell. Hold on one second. Let me see how long it takes.
I mean, I can read like magical languages, but it's only 40%, so I can't really talk
Understand
to
what dinner has to say?
them.
Oh, so it's quick.
I
It
say,
only takes half a round to cast.
I say hello and because we know the language a little from all the stuff we've been reading and
Right.
finding. So I try to say hi.
As you say that, it sort of stops where it's at, and it begins like its pincers are like sort of clacking towards you, even though they're very faint to hear because it's so small. But you can almost hear the clacking of pincers as it's like almost a threatening manner, like, back off or I'm going to pinch your nose off. Yes, sir.
Without Ferris knowing, I'm going to cast Speak with Animals on him so that he can talk to that thing. But he's not going to know it.
Is there a saving throw on that? Because I've always felt that casting it on an unwilling subject.
It says none.
I mean, if he told me, I'd probably accept it. But
Okay, that's fine. As suddenly as this thing's sort of clacking at you, you hear the words a very high-pitched, squeaky voice saying, "Who is this? Who dares to enter the chamber of my guardian? You better go, or I will have to discharge my sacred duty. Be off before I lose my temper."
Well, my name is Ferris. These are my friends. We're just passing through. We don't mean any harm or mean disrespect. We had a really bad week, and we got stuck in here, hiding from people that want to murder us. So we just want to find a way out.
Then go. Touch nothing. Be on your way. Go. Before I have to discharge my sacred duty. And trust me, you do not like me when I am angry.
Okay. Which way is the way out?
That way. And as he sort of spins around and he's like spinning around, pointing different directions.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, while I'm in here, I'm gonna
as you approach, he's like, be back. As he gets in front of you, and as soon as you like approach and try to get close to him, he calls out. He goes, "Kalka, wake up!" And the boulder in front of you begins to move as you realize that the boulder is actually a massive conch shell beneath which this giant crab just sort of turns around, and you hear a
Hey, I didn't mean to hurt him. All right, I turn invisible.
I start. I'm gonna detect evil first.
You detect no evil coming from any of this.
Then I'm going to sing the song. I'm shining. That's the
All right.
one with the big crab.
All right.
For those of you who don't know.
As this thing awakens and it turns toward you, you can hear the little crayfish yelling at you, Varys. I told you so! I told you so! And again, this huge crab. So let's go back to actions. Varys has got his bow. Deglin, actions.
If it attacks, I will attack. Otherwise, I'm just kind of holding my ground. I'll move forward and stand.
All right, Lyrian.
I have my bow in hand. I comment to Ronnie, crayfish delicious when cooked in beer with some cinnamon.
Ronnie.
Yeah, DM, I'm gonna have my sling out and be ready to move so I have a good angle.
All right. Varys, you said you're going invisible.
Yeah, max damage crayfish.
The crayfish? All right.
Well, no, the big crab thing.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, you little bastard! He's using a fork.
Zadkiel, actions.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on guard.
Okay.
And wait for hostile attack.
Okay. All right. As we go, and let us begin the combat. As the party wins the combat, as the crayfish backs up, the giant crab moves. You are actually not in yet, Deglin. You are still back.
Oh, okay.
And before you can go and become invisible, well, I want to read something here real quick just to make sure that I got that. The giant crab just comes and you see its two eye stalks as its giant pinchers, that each pincher is as big as you are, as they come out from underneath this massive boulder shell. As these two pincers, like I said, are as big as you are, Varys, as you get ready to become invisible, the two eye stalks just sort of look you like right in your face. You ever watch what's the word? What's the movie I'm thinking of?
Futurama?
No.
Porky's Revenge.
No, I'm trying to think of the sci-fi movie, the aliens attack.
Oh,
where
aliens attack.
Shut up, dude.
Mars.
No, not the Mars attack. The invasion of it's H.G. Wells
Body
movie.
snatcher?
H.G. Wells movie that he
War of the
did.
Worlds.
Oh, War of the
Thank
Worlds.
you, thank you.
Yeah.
As that little eye thing just sort of pops up and just sort of looks at him and stuff, and they're looking in there. That's what the eye stalks look like. Is these two sort of spindly things with the eyeballs on the end, and they just sort of look right in front of your face, and he just looks at you with his head cocked, and he's like, "You don't look delicious. Why are you bothering my friend?"
I'm not bothering him. I came in peace. Just passing through.
Why did you attack him?
I didn't attack him.
He told you go, you didn't
trying to
go.
go. The doors are over here. Can't kind of pass by.
As he goes, as his sort of one of his claws sort of begins to point off to your left. Thanks, exit. So you go, okay? As he sort of backs up slightly.
Charm him.
I still turn invisible.
Okay. Poof. You are now invisible. As he sort of backs and he sort of sets down on his haunches. Can't really tell what he's doing other than not attacking you, but he did point to the door off to your left as the way to exit.
The rest of us saw that. Well,
So you're going to go to your right? Nah, you go whichever way you want. I'm just saying. He pointed to the left and said that's the exit. Meaning your
the
left.
one with the, okay, my left.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
Alright, the one with the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over
Okay.
here then.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay here until actually I'll reappear here
Okay.
and then say he said this way is the way out. Hopefully he's right.
well, if I'm gonna go ahead and use my action then to move that way.
All right. So as you move, you almost slip and fall, Declan, as you kind of move to quickly catch up with Varys. And it's like you catch yourself for a second and your hand slams into the wall and you feel the burning sensation as the line begins to hit into your hands and you grab away and you literally almost slip and fall. That's how slick the floor is. Combat in this room would be extremely problematic, especially melee combat. As you get to the stairs, though, you see that there is a at the end of the stairs there is a door, and beneath the door you could see there is a pool of water forming like a muddy sludge at the base of the door at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
More water. This will be fun.
Yeah, let's see how much.
Might need your boat. Everybody be careful walking across the slick floor. I'll check for traps.
As you check for traps, go ahead and give me your check. You find no traps, but from the other side of the door, you can hear a faint melodious voice of a human, or of a female, coming from the other side of the door.
Oh no. It's the near end, I bet. It's that
Well,
other
now you know
door
where
we
she got
didn't.
that.
It's that other door we didn't go through. I think we should go a different way.
That big crab's probably trying to fool us to go in there and tangle with that thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's the other door on the other side, and it looks like there might be one up top.
Yeah.
How long does the speak with animals last?
I think it was 2 rounds per level, but let me confirm.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 rounds per level.
Okay.
He tried to set us up.
Yep.
As you begin to move in, you hear the voice of the crab saying, "I said you need to leave." And he points to the door on the other side of the room, directly across from you.
Oh, so
Varys.
what I was originally going to. Alright.
All right, so we'll try to go that way.
I'm just going to carefully.
Oh, the door over there, as he points to the door directly across from Zadkiel. So it's, in other words, the north or the south door, whatever. No, the east door.
Yeah.
The door at the top of the room.
So he's pointing at all of them now. Alright.
Yep.
He don't know. He doesn't know.
You're arguing with a crab.
Yep.
All right, so whichever one we're gonna try.
Try this one.
Delicious with stuffing and broccoli.
Nothing's looking for traps.
Okay. As you carefully search the door, you find no traps.
Alright. Is it locked?
No, it is not.
Okay. Have at it, Declan.
Okie dokie.
You open up this, and you can see that the sides of this corridor are carved to resemble walls of bamboo-like logs. The passage slopes down from all the way at the other side down towards you, and you can see that the edging and the lintel of this particular door is made to look like a stylized cavern entrance. It sort of also, it kind of reminds you some of the area around this. It's like a cave entrance, and then there's what looks to be like a forest of seaweed, and so it's, like I said, a very ornate, stylized door frame to make it look like you're walking into some sort of an underwater sea cave of some kind. But it slopes upwards away from you, and the walls are made to look like I said, bamboo logs all the way down.
Well, sloping up is good. It may lead to the surface. I'm gonna go ahead and go up.
Okay. As you get about right there, suddenly the logs to either side of you slam outwards and slam right into Varys.
Oh.
They slam into you, and you suffer 10 hit points of damage as these logs just come out and pummel you, dropping you to the ground, dropping you to your knee, and then they sort of reset slowly into the wall.
Ow. First time I don't look for traps. Of course. Ow. Well, this is not a nice hole.
Yep. I should say that the logs didn't swing back, and they sort of block right in front of you, right where you're standing. There's like a blockage of logs, like the wall swung out and just slammed into you, almost like smacking you in the face. And then they now sort of like a shutter swinging closed, if you will, and now they block the passage leading forward.
Well, can I disarm it? So it doesn't fit?
Yeah, you can absolutely try to disarm. Looks like you disarmed it. Looks like it's not going to be swinging out and smacking anybody. You found the pressure plate that you stepped on, like right in front of it.
Yeah.
Which caused it. But the logs themselves are pretty heavy and are probably going to take a little bit of strength in order to.
I need your help, Declan.
All right, so I'll just start going
Maybe
in,
Zadkiel too.
pushing them back up against the wall.
Okay. Only takes a second or two, but you manage to easily push the logs back, and you hear a clicking sound as they click back into place in the wall.
Oh no.
Let us keep going. I'll just
No,
do one side.
do not step on this plate. And I mark it around it in chalk. And
Go ahead and give me a find traps. Yeah, you managed to find the actual plate that you stepped on, and you mark it correctly. So you guys see as Varys puts a little X marks the spot saying don't step here, lest you want to get smacked by falling logs.
and then I'd like to look for some more traps as I go up
Okay.
the rest of this way. Because now I'm even more paranoid.
Yep. Yeah, you do not appear to find any traps.
Just stay on the side of the right hand wall there.
I found another door.
Where's everybody else?
They're coming.
Lying as usual.
Yeah, you know, Zadkiel is slow. Barris is slow. Barris is slow because the DM just doesn't feel like dragging shit
yeah.
behind him.
Yeah. I'll look for traps on the door.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could move me, I can't move the screen. Oh, there it goes.
Gotcha. I got you. Yeah, you do not find any apparent traps on this door.
Is it locked?
It is not, and it pulls toward you.
All right, Caitlin. All yours.
You open up the door into a long, narrow chamber running east and west. In the center is a dome shape on the floor. In the center of the east wall is a blank-faced stone door, and the west end of the room you can see is blocked by collapsed falling stone and rubble, apparently the result of a collapse. The two side walls appear to have several niches cut into them. The shape in the chamber, the shape in the center of the chamber appears to be some kind of a small alcove protected by a half dome with the open end facing toward the door you're coming through. This alcove is set into a recessed, shallow, tilted well about a foot deep and 10 feet wide. The alcove itself is 4 feet high, and the hollow seems to hold some sort of a display. So basically, this thing in the center of the chamber is a half dome diorama type thing. You can see several niches in the east or the left and the right walls, the north and south walls. And this far part of the chamber you can see is collapsed. What's most interesting, though, is the little shaft of light appearing at the top of the stone at the far end of the collapse. The display appears to be a diorama depicting a hunting party of Ulman warriors in feathers and deer-hide garments on a mountainside scene. Some have successfully pulled down a stag with the aid of a dog. Another group is cleaning up a small mule deer, and the last party has cornered a puma with their spears. A scout watches the puma hunt from atop the outcropping alcove. He holds a metal staff with a loop on its end, sort of looking like a shepherd's crook.
I point to the shaft of light. Time to get out of here.
The 3 5-foot wide niches on both the north and south walls, each one is actually set up about 3 feet above the floor. Each niche contains a different diorama depicting some aspect of tribal life. You can see inside each one of these dioramas these 6-inch high figures in all the displays appear to be made of stucco, realistically and brightly painted. The scenes portraying and represent fishing, farming, religion, warfare, creation story, etc., etc.
Well, do we want to poke around the niches, or do we want to just leave? Because I'd like to just leave, personally.
Well, maybe we could try detect magic, and if we don't see nothing, then we just bolt.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. What you all think?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Who's casting Detect Magic if they're going to cast Detect Magic? Anybody? Bueller?
Not Ronnie.
Not Ronnie.
I don't even have Detect Magic. Somebody's got
Me
it.
neither.
Okay.
Who cast it last time?
Lyrian. Not sure if Lyrian's talking, but we can't hear you, dude.
Yeah, you're lighting up, but no audio.
How's that?
Here we
There
go.
you go.
Now you're
Sorry,
back.
the my mute button. This Turtle Beach headset. Somebody thought to put the mute button on the actual headset, so every time you grab it, hit yourself.
Yep, there you go. That's what happens on my headset too.
Yeah, engineering just gets worse over time. I did not memorize it today, so I cannot cast Detect Magic to a cleric. I do, however, have Unseen Servant if you would like me to summon the creature and have him begin to move small amounts of rubble out of your way.
Couldn't hurt. We got to dig out of here, right?
No. The hole is at the far side of the chamber at the very top of the rubble, so you could climb up the rubble to climb out through the hole in the...
Is the hole big enough to get out of?
Yeah, it's probably about 7 or 8 feet around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but who votes for crab dinner before we leave?
Who votes what?
For crab dinner before we leave.
Hermit crab, I don't know. I haven't had that before.
I don't want to fight in that slick floor. I already just took damage from fallen logs. I would not want to fall and be crabbed here. So,
I could cast.
What are in these alcoves?
What's that?
What are inside the alcoves?
Each one of the alcoves has a bunch of little stucco figurines, probably about 6 inches tall, each of them. And each alcove depicts various aspects of the tribal life. In addition, the center diorama depicts various hunting parties, right? So you've got the alcoves on the edges that sort of depict normal life of, fishing, farming, the creation of their world, yada, yada. And the center one is a diorama set beneath a half dome that depicts a hunting party. And probably the most interesting thing of the hunting party one is a scout appears to be on a little like outcropping above the main diorama, sort of like a lookout. And in his hand, he has a metal staff with a loop on its end, kind of like a shepherd's crook. But while everything else seems to be made of stucco, that little crook seems to be made of metal.
Anybody want to try to pull that out?
We probably should.
Maybe hook a rope on it and then stand across the other side of the room and pull it out.
I mean, I'll go see if it's trapped.
Okay. Does not appear to be trapped. I mean, you can reach it easily.
Can I hook it with my 10-foot pole?
The pole would be a little too big to hook underneath it.
I'll just take a dagger and hook it. And
okay.
Pull it out.
All right, give me a dexterity check, please.
That should be easy.
Nat 20 coming up. Oh, how close was that? Your dagger slides on the end of it just enough to kind of lift it up, and you slowly lift it through the gripping hands. Now, to the figurine, this piece of metal is probably half its size, right? So it's pretty good size. But when you take it up, it's maybe about 3 inches, 4 inches long. It appears to be made of solid silver, and it's shaped like a shepherd's hook. But interesting on the end of it, not the hook end, but on the other end of it, you can see that it's carved like it has teeth.
Like it can be a weapon or something?
A weapon, or perhaps for your eyes, it looks like a skeleton key of some kind.
Oh. Well, now we find this. It probably would have been useful for something.
But you do figure it's made of solid silver, so it's probably gonna fetch at least a couple gold if you were to sell it.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the my hole then, and
Okay.
say time to go then.
Okay. Are you climbing out?
I'd like to.
Okay.
If no one objects, since everybody seemed to agree to leave. I'm gonna climb up and take a peek. Make sure
Okay.
there's no enemies up there.
As you come up and take a peek, you poke your head out and you see jungle. And you guys are probably a couple 100 yards to the one side. It looks like the sun is coming up to the east, and it's coming up like behind you, and so you're looking toward the west, and toward the north. As you look to the right, as you're poking up toward the north, you can see the temple rising up out of the jungle. So you guys have probably come like 300 or 400 yards away from the entry that you guys went into.
All right. Well, at least we're away from where we entered, so they'd have to do a lot of tracking to figure out where we went. Anyway, so sun's coming up. Looks like daylight.
It's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning, give or take, based on where the sun's at.
Let's head to the coast and try and get out of here. I'm gonna climb out, and I said, I'll keep an eye out, and I'll climb out and turn invisible and keep an eye out for trouble.
Okay. Anybody else going to follow him?
Yeah, Ronnie's going to climb out too, DM.
Okay.
I'll go behind Ronnie.
You guys all climb out of the shrine, having completed your journey beneath the hidden shrine of Tomoa Khan. Congratulations on having made it without losing lives. Anybody else want to go back down in? No? You guys find yourselves you guys find yourselves in the jungle. You're pretty sure you remember which way you came in, although you were hustling through the dark when you originally arrived in the jungle, being chased by the Scarlet Brotherhood and their slaver allies. Fortunately, though, you guys don't see any of your antagonists anywhere around. But you are now in the middle of a jungle with no transportation whatsoever.
I mean, I have a folding boat, but we need to acquire some. I'll find a way to get some eventually.
Right.
So we don't have a ranger, do we?
We do not. Well, no, Barris. Hang on a sec. Barris is a ranger, yes.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Get us to the coast, and then we can try to figure out, maybe we can find a port or something.
Okay. So that is where we are going to pick up on the backside of our break, since we went ahead and finished this. We actually kind of timed it pretty well. couple minutes early than our normal break, but let's go ahead and take our break for right now. Let me go ahead and shift over to the to break time, and everybody can
close your eyes. It's time to discover what starting and growing your own business feels like.
That's a monkey.
Whether your business is bed sheets
Oops.
or skincare.
I'm looking at the wrong. I was like, why am I not doing it?
Every step of the way.
And let me get
Now,
my timer
open
started
your
here.
eyes.
15 minutes,
This
okay
is
with everybody as
possible.
usual?
Powered by Shopify.
Sounds
Sign
good.
up for a free trial at shopify.com/listen22. Shopify.com/listen22.
All right. So for those of you that are still hanging out with us, I appreciate it. As our party has made their way out of the hidden shrine of Tamoakan, now the goal is to get through the jungle, get to the coast, find passage. Find passage to wherever it is that they want to go. So yeah, we will be back in, like I said, about 15 minutes. Hopefully you guys will be with us on the other side. It's been an enjoyable run so far, but now we got to see what kind of trouble our party is going to get themselves into now. So see you guys on the other side in a few minutes. Thanks. Oh, so sorry to have interrupted that great song by Monkey as it was just kicking off. That's one of my favorite tunes, but unfortunately our clock has wound down and we find ourselves back in the jungles of the Amidio. Welcome back, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out with us. For those of you that have, for those of you that had to leave, hopefully you'll come back and catch the rest of the show a little later. But in the meantime, let's figure out where we are and what we are doing. Our party, having finally extricated themselves from beneath the ruins of the shrine of Tomoa Khan, find themselves now back in the jungle. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. They've looked around. They haven't found or haven't seen anything from those who were trailing them. At least not yet, they haven't. And so
the ranger look for tracks.
And that's what we were going to do here shortly. I want to, like I said, welcome everybody back. If you haven't clicked that follow button, please do so. If you want to show us a little love, do a little bit of cheering. For every 100 bits you cheer, that gives a bonus to the dice rolls of the players that they get to carry with them forever and ever. Amen. Until such a time as they need them. Or, of course, you can always trade in your tokens for nat 1s and nat 20s. Not sure how much more the party is going to need. Don't know how much combat we're going to have from here. But I guess it all depends on how well we track our pursuers. So, yes, Barris is able to track a base 90% track. He gets there were 20 individuals who were following. So for, I believe is it for every one above, or I just looked at it. Now I forgot. I think it's for every one creature above. Let's take a look and see. The base tracking is 90%. Where is it? Outdoors, there's a base 90% of a ranger being able to follow a creature. For each creature above 1 in the party being tracked, he gets a plus 2%. So he gets another plus 40%. So it's 130% so far. However, it has been 2 days since they left. And so that's a minus 20. For each hour participation, I'm going to say, not worry too much about that. So I am going to say he has a 80% chance of being able to track whoever those guys were. As you guys move your way away from the hidden shrine back the way that you came, you do find where there apparently, or I should say Barris finds indication of machetes that have cut through bramble and branch and jungle weed, as men have been traipsing about this whole area up to and including the area around the temple where you guys first went down below. And you can see that there is a large hyenodon corpse lying up where you guys found the entry leading down below. So they definitely came this way, but apparently found nothing of your trail wherever it was that you guys may have gone. And so they have apparently retreated or gone off to search in other directions. But as I said, he has a 80% chance of tracking them, and he easily picks up their trail. As he moves, he heads sort of a westerly direction, a northwesterly direction, if you will. You guys travel for perhaps 4 hours, 3 hours maybe, following these trails, and you come across a small river that winds from the north heading down into the jungle, deep within the Amidio. But as he turns right, and perhaps another 20 minutes, you guys find yourselves on a beach, and you can see off in the distance, the remains of your vessel crashed upon the rocks. It is like more than halfway sunk, as the sails tattering in the wind. You guys, as I said, find yourselves standing on this beach. You can see that there have been others here. You can see the remains of the tracks of several boats that were pulled up on shore. Those boats having since departed, still leaving the tracks and the footprints and signs of campfires, etc. So whoever was here for at least a few days, a couple of days, however long it was. You're not sure what day of the week or even how long you guys have been gone. But there appears to be no sign of your pursuers, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Now the decision is, how do we find our way out of this place? And I would like everybody to give me an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Yes.
Well, mine's not terrible, so let's see. Oh, I just rolled one above mine.
Yeah. Now, don't forget, you do have a +1 if you want to.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Let's subtract one and make it right on.
All right.
Why not? Let's do it.
All right. So that leaves Varys with nothing left. And Varys is going to give his roll now.
Hey, Angel rolled a 2. Wow.
Yep. As Varys also rolled under his. As you guys are standing up and you're looking at the beach and you're trying to decide, Zadkiel, you know that the shape, you remember seeing the maps and you recall the shape of this region, and you know that if you head to the west, eventually it curves up in the shape of a horn, and at that tippy top point, you guys might be able to get across the water to the mainland, or the other mainland, if you will. Varys, who else? Let's see. Zadkiel made it. Varys made it. Lyrian, what's your intelligence?
60.
Yep. So you made it as well, and you all know that there are can't even think of the word. I don't want to say forts, but there are forts basically built along the jungle edges. However, if you recall, most of the jungle, or most of this region, was populated and used by the Scarlet Brotherhood. So while there are communities, forts and colonization, etc., that went on in this region, most of it was done by the Scarlet Brotherhood, who is part of the group that was chasing you. But it is possible that you guys might be able to catch boats or find some means of gaining passage out of here from one of those places, if you can somehow get by without being arrested or recognized for who you are. If you don't even know if the Scarlet Brotherhood has like an APB out for you guys, right? It may just be that certain individuals know about you and were after you. But that being said, you do know that heading west will eventually lead you to various points of civilization where you might be able to catch a boat, or, you know, at least find your way out of here.
Sounds like the best odds. Whether we, pay passage, steal a boat, borrow a boat, whatever. We don't want to be in this jungle anymore.
Well, I thought we wanted to get back to Greyhawk proper.
Yeah.
City of-
So we gotta get back to the mainland, and even if we get back to the mainland, we can get horses or something else and get to Greyhawk, or at least somewhere no longer in the jungle.
Right.
I don't want to be in a desert or a jungle. I want to be in like woodlands or plains
Or the city.
So if I'm sure there people that pass are going to say, "Hey, there's a town to the northwest of us." So those of us.
No,
who
you don't know. You don't know that that one's there. You just know that there are along the coast. There are various places that they have, communities set up. Some forts, because of trade, because of exploration. The problem is that you know that a lot of these are, or used to be at least, run by the Scarlet Brotherhood. Regardless, you also know that heading along the coast and staying on the coast is your best shot, because eventually this whole thing curves upwards and gets close to, you might be able to use your folding boat. You might be able to use some other way to get there. Now,
the folding boat would definitely not be a great option across the entire sea, but it would be okay to along the coastline.
Yeah, like
that, or a channel, crossing a channel or something like that.
Yeah, the channel idea is what I was agreeing with as well, to try to get to the mainland, and then we can acquire horses or something.
Right. Well, it means we're going to have to find a ship and get past it.
Right. Okay. So we heading out then, sort of following the yellow brick road, so to speak.
Do we want to walk or do we want to take the boat? And,
I think we should stay. We should not use the boat and make us a target for pirates or anything. Yeah, and we can always duck into the woods or something, or the jungle. And if we look just like making adventures like we are, they may not even bother or recognize us. But none of us have like shaves and days or any of that. Not that I necessarily have a beard, but we look pretty haggard.
Right. Yeah.
So they might just let us be and not question us too much. So
okay.
All right. So we'll walk along the coastline. Yes.
All right. All right. As you guys move along the coastline, the first day is relatively calm and quiet, although midway through the day, the rains begin to come down. And when they come down in this region in the summertime, they come down in this region as eventually it sort of swells into a rather large storm, forcing you guys into and under the protective canopy of the trees. And if that doesn't make matters uncomfortable, the fact that afterwards the steamy heat that comes with it as the mosquitoes begin to take their toll, and by the end of the first day, after a huge flash thunderstorm followed by the mosquitoes eating away, crawling underneath your armor, making life as uncomfortable and miserable, I need everybody to give me a which is it? Give me a saving throw versus death and poison, please.
Ronnie, we need to repel insects.
I can only cast one of them a day, and it only lasts for 10 minutes around. Or level, I mean. Yeah, I was just looking at it.
Ooh. Don't, who else? Okay.
Jeez,
Nice.
what's up with that?
Why did Varys get a +5 on his?
I have +5 to saves versus poison.
Oh, I forgot. You got the
I got a throat, a ring.
Yep.
Parrot.
I forgot. Yep, I forgot. I forgot you had the pair. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. So let's see. It looks like the only one who failed then was Deglin.
Actually, I only had to make a 6, right? So if I use
Actually, well, you have a cloak too. You have a cloak of protection, right?
right, so that puts me at a 5. Then I still have to get a 6. So then I have my +1.
Okay. Deglin does have a +1. All right. As Deglin saves, but you don't have no longer pluses. As everybody saves, fortunately for you, the malaria does not set in. And the first day, as you're like, son of a Mitch. All right. So the next 2 days are relatively calm, although it's extremely hot and extremely humid. As you guys are marching through the high summer in the jungle on your full gear. For right now, until further notice, everybody would be at a -1 on any attacks or any sort of combat that they may get involved. So any attack rolls would all be at a -1 after the second day, as the heat begins to take its toll. As I've already said, the mosquitoes and the insects are unrelenting as you work your way along the coastline. The third day forces you inland slightly because you see a ship sailing just along the edge of your vision. You can't tell what the sails are, but it appears to be headed towards shore. But not like directly in front of you. It's like an angle cutting across your path as the land that you are on begins to drift slightly north. And on the fourth day, you can see 2 more ships sailing in the same direction. And on the 5th day, as you guys come across the crest of a hill and you can see down in the valley below, there is a fort, and flying the flags from the fort, it's not the Scarlet Brotherhood, but it is actually, let me go get the, make sure that I got the right one. I want to double check the flag just to make sure that it is the one that I had mapped out. Where are you? There you are. You can see that the map itself, it's or not the map, but the flags that are flying have a blue and yellow banner background, I should say. The upper half is yellow, the bottom half is blue, and there appears to be
in Ukraine,
right, and there is a ship on it. So it looks like the blue represents water, the yellow background probably represents the sun or the sky, and there is a vessel emblazoned on the flag. So it's not the purple sails of the pirates, and it's not the red flag of the Scarlet Brotherhood.
So it's not the sea princes or the Stone
it quite possibly is the sea princes. If you guys know your flags, then you recognize it as the sea princes.
Okay. They might be might have better luck there with finding either passage or buying a small ship or something.
So as you guys can see that this fort is set. It has a small set of docks. There are currently 2 ships sitting in the docks as well as 1 out at anchor. You can see that the fort itself is literally just like an old Spanish fort set on the jungle. And the land around the fort itself appears to have been cleared out a little bit. Looks like they've got a little bit of farming going on outside the fort itself.
So how do you want to do this? We want to go down and just say we were shipwrecked and marooned, and we'd like to book passage to the mainland. Something simple like that.
Yeah, simpler the better.
Yeah, actually, don't mention anything about shipwreck. We just want to look for passage to the mainland.
Yeah, all right.
Unless they start asking.
Yeah.
Can we get into the fort? Is it a military fort or is it like trading post?
No, it appears to be a military establishment of some kind.
Ah.
Well, I mean, we don't have to try to get in the fort. We just see if we can talk to someone about getting passage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably have to talk to the guard captain.
Okay. All right. As you guys approach and work your way down the hill onto the beach, as you are heading toward the fort, you can see the stone walls are about 20 feet high. They have towers at all the corners. Your traditional sort of a fort. There appeared to be a triplet set of trebuchets that are set back from the wall a little bit with large stones piled in big sort of heaps right nearby. You can also see that there are patrols of guards going along the walls. There appears to be down on the docks, which again is outside the fort proper. You can see there appears to be loading and unloading going on, mostly by hand. They don't appear to have the technology of like heavy lifting type machinery on some of the larger ports that you have seen in the past. But that being said, it is a place where you at least could find, hopefully, some refreshment or passage or whatever. As you're coming down the beach, you are met by a group of 6 soldiers, all of them wearing mail armor of some kind, whether it's chain or banded. 3 of them have pikes, the rest have swords and shields. And you are stopped probably about a half a mile from the fort along the beach as one of the soldiers, and all of them are pale-faced type of individuals, very pale skin, dark hair, light eyes, as they sort of look at you and they, "What are you doing in the middle of this God's forsaken place? How did you get here? Who are you? And what are you doing?"
It's a long story. We'll introduce all of ourselves, but can we get some food and water?
We can get you some food and water, but first, how did you come here? People don't just come out of the jungle all willy-nilly. How came you to be brought here?
Initially by ship. Been a while.
Aye, and where is your vessel at now? He says, kind of looking around.
Oh, it's long gone.
Let's see. As they sort of talk amongst themselves for a second, and they look. And he's like, people come down here seeking their fortune, crash themselves on the rocks. You'd be surprised at how many people have died doing exactly what you fools are doing. No weapons. No weapons. All weapons are to be completely wrapped and maintained. Any violation of that order is immediate stockade. Are we clear?
I look at the rest of them. What do they
Yep.
say?
Yep.
Yep.
As you guys are led into the fort proper, you can see it's sort of like an old western town. You can see that there is a large stable just inside. Although they don't have many horses, there are a couple. They don't have many horses. They have other like livestock, like cows and oxen and stuff like that, probably used for the fields or something that are around the fort. There's what appears to be one place, one tavern or one large tavern and whatnot. Does not appear to be any kind of a inn here. There's just a large barracks for where the soldiers are maintained. You guys are led into the stockade, or not stockade, well, the fort itself, led to what is apparently some kind of a headquarter building. Just inside the gates off to the right, there's a little mini gatehouse with a set of offices that you are brought into. And one of the soldiers who leads you in calls out, "Sergeant, we've got newcomers, I guess," as a rather large fellow in both girth as well as height stands up from behind one of the desks. He's obviously somebody of rank and station based on the regalia that is on his shoulder and epaulets and whatnot. As he sort of comes over, "Well, you're a long way from home. What brings you to my part of the world, might I ask you?"
We'd like to get home.
Aye? And where is home then?
Well, we'd like to go to Greyhawk City, but
Greyhawk City?
if you can take us to the mainland, that's simple enough. We can pay.
That will have to be talking to the dockmaster. I have nothing to do with the shipping nor nothing like that. I am merely here to provide protection for those that are here doing their exploring and other things, protecting our interests.
Well, a simple meal and night's rest would be great, and then we'll talk to the dockmaster in the morning.
As he sort of looks you, he goes, "Aye, you can stay in the barracks. We can provide bunks for yous."
So they've already collected our weapons?
They don't collect them. They just made sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not allowed to bring them out. They don't collect your weapons. They just no drawing of one. Correct.
They're peace minding them. That's basically
Right.
what they're wanting.
Like the Ren Fair.
Yeah. or conventions.
Yeah.
Like, yep. So yeah, I just
Cool.
It's been a long journey since our ship got wrecked. So a little rest, a little food, and we'll be on our way in the morning. Hopefully, if your dockmaster has room.
Damn, I'm gonna pull out an acorn and hand it to him and ask him, what are the biggest risks for us here in town? Because I would like to keep my eye on those.
As he looks at you, he goes, "The biggest risks. Biggest risk is not following the rules, not doing what you're told, giving any of my soldiers any grief, giving any of the populace here any grief. Those are the biggest problems that you have to deal with."
no possible threat from a foreign invader.
No, we're so far out of the normal shipping lanes. Nobody's going to bother us down here.
Awesome.
As they lead you to the barracks where you guys are able to wash up, clean up, and get yourself a hot meal. You're sort of the talk of the fort as you guys arrive, because just the look of you, your gear, it's obvious that you're explorers or adventurers type. Some of the soldiers try to strike up conversation to find out, what you doing here, how you came by here, etc. But usually it gets shut down by somebody else senior.
As long as we don't go talking about the brother thing, I think we should be all right.
Yep. And in the following morning, which you have now moved into the month of Harvester, which is the last month of summer, by the way. Let me do that's actually fifth. That all right? As the 5th day of Harvester, as the day outside is relatively clear, but once again it is steamy warm. As you guys arrive and have your breakfast, you are led down to the docks and to the dockmaster, who is a short, skinny fellow, sort of balding with a little wisp of hair sort of right up front. Has a high-collared shirt with long, puffy sleeves, and he's got pantaloon-type pants, wearing sandals. Looks kind of greasy and sweaty. Looks like he's that's just how he normally is. Skin's a little dark. Looks like he's been out in the sun for a while. He's got dark eyes. As you're led up to him, he has this sort of a nasally voice. As the soldier introduces, goes, "Dockmaster, these gents are seeking to book passage." "Book passage, are you? Where is it that you are going?"
Today, we'd like to book passage to a neutral or friendly port on the mainland where we can acquire steeds or passage further into the mainland. Simple as that.
This is going to be this can be rather costly. Sending you up to the mainland, of course, you'll probably have to make a couple of transfers, but most likely the easiest would be to send you along the coast as we go to deliver each of our ports and then on to Gryrax up into Ulex. If that is acceptable, that is the best that I can do for you, and it will be 300 gold pieces per person.
Talk amongst ourselves, or do we agree with that?
And maybe, yeah.
Seems a little steep.
Oh, we have plenty of coins, so it might be a little steep, but it's better than staying here. I mean, we can try and negotiate something better, but I don't want to
risk. The only other option would be to work for passage.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to piss anybody off either.
Right.
So, I'm fine with paying 300 for myself.
Yeah, me too.
That way they don't want more questions asked and any of that nonsense.
And Ronnie has enough acorns to cover it, I guess.
Yeah, we have plenty of plenty of coin.
He's got money in the bag.
We also have
that's
plenty
about 13 acorns, so that's a pretty steep price.
Pretty steep. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So.
All right. So I don't have Barris's. I have his sheet, but it doesn't. I don't see anywhere that he's on his inventory that he has gold.
Oh, he knows.
Or how much? As a matter of fact, for treasure, it has 0 for treasure.
we
Doesn't
got,
have.
yeah.
Well, I have 500.
We got a bunch on the treasure journal.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we have plenty of coin.
All right.
I got-
So go ahead and everybody update either character sheet or whatever needs to get updated to remove a total
Wait a
of
minute.
1,800 gold,
300 apiece. So.
300 per person. Correct. So
Okay, 500 was my other character from Friday.
if,
Now I have 4,400.
yeah. So
Mine.
go ahead and
Minus
Hey.
300.
yeah, minus 300.
Okay.
And then I'll take the out of the bag of holding out Ronnie's out.
Everybody's done.
I'm done.
All right.
Anybody not have it?
Considering all the treasure we've gotten.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, the only one that I don't know for sure is Barris because I don't have any coin showed on his character sheet.
I can take it out of the bag of holding so that way we don't take
Yeah.
party treasure.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I don't have any coin on my character sheet either, but on my PDF I do.
Yeah.
We'll take it off wherever.
Yep.
Puts us at 1,975 party gold. I don't know where we got that.
Which one? Sorry.
We had a stash of party gold in the bag of holding.
Oh, yeah.
It was from way earlier.
Yeah, it was fine before I joined y'all.
Could be. Okay. So everybody is paid for. You are informed that the ship. Why? I'm looking online. It's like, look, I don't have any lights on in my my office. What if I do this? If it goes down, I just want to look at something.
You
just
are
to
kind
see.
of bright. In
Yeah,
the,
and so I said I don't have any lights on in, but I think it's the reflection coming off of the white background of the computer screen, the browser. So that's kind of what it is. It's like that's kind of bizarre. I have to find a way to limit that. But anyway, that's just squirrel.
Squirrel.
So again, you guys are informed that tomorrow the ship will leave. And just so you know, I'm going to go sort of figure this out. Going up to Gryrax in the Principality of Ulek. Yep, you guys are going to be going from Fort South Azure to North Azure, up to Havekla, up to South Hook, from South Hook to East Hook, from East Hook to Blackwell, and then Blackwell takes you up to Gryrax. So it's going to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it's basically 70 hexes. So if we go 70 times 12 divided by, it's a 1 month and 5 day trip. for you guys to get there. Just
Is
so
this a
you are aware.
military ship or some type of cargo?
It's a cargo ship.
Some merchant vessel, probably.
Yeah, it's a small merchant vessel that sort of travels along the coastlines delivering and stuff. But it's basically to get to Gryrax, that's where they will deposit you in the Principality of Ulek. It takes a month. Just so you guys are okay.
Right. It means nothing to an elf.
Right?
Is there duties that we must perform, or are we guests on?
You are guests on the vessel. You are paying your passage of 300 gold.
Yep. So, cool.
All right. So, the following morning, you guys go down on the 6th day, and we are just going to go to 6 into, oops. We're going to fast forward 1 month and 5 days later as you guys, oh, why did it not set? Son of a gun. Let's try this again. Boom. Boom. Set the day as on the 4th day of Patchwall. You guys have completely missed the Brewfest.
No.
Yeah, you guys completely, and I don't have the I don't have a map. Yeah, I don't have the map for the region for like Gryrax or anything like that. So at least not loaded here. I wasn't for sure how you guys were going to go, so I didn't have a whole bunch of things. I got a few things prepared. As you guys arrive a little over a month later, you have become knowledgeable enough that should it be necessary, you guys would be able, as a secondary skill, be sailors. So
Awesome.
So if you do not have that, yeah, basically, if you don't have it in your secondary skills already, you now have seamanship, basically, or sailors, or whatever it's called. As you guys arrive in the city of Gryrax, the city of, if you guys wouldn't mind giving me just 2 seconds, I might be able to. Let's do this.
We're fully healed by now, right?
Yes. Yeah. You guys are all completely healed by now, and I am going to actually create, because I have a map of Gryrax that I made. Now if I could just find it. Greyhawk cities. Just gotta figure out what the hell I did with it. Oops. This isn't much. Let me drag the players over onto it. Okay. And then I just have to, I'm just building this map here really quick. I just have to do one last thing. This. All right. So if I can, you guys are in the docks. Let us. This is a map that I built of Gryrax for an adventure that I was doing. Okay, where are you? There you are. Oh no, I gotta fix that. Lighting. No. Unrestricted. Save changes. There we go. And now let me drag everybody else over here. You
Ah.
you guys arrive in the city of Gryrax. Gryrax is in the Principality of Ulek. The Principality of Ulek is primarily a dwarven state.
Ooh, aha!
It is the majority of the population here is dwarf. It's probably like 60% of the population is dwarf. Then there are humans, and then the rest are sort of a mismatch. And again, I wasn't planning on this, so give me just a second to get to. I've got some notes and stuff about. Can't remember. Yes. So anyway, the city itself is broken into several city districts. All of the districts are based off of sort of a dwarvish sort of name. So Durgrimst means kind of like region or section. And so you've got the nobles, you've got the religious and the ambassadors and the scholars and the artisans and the river district, right? And then you've got the slums are known as the Vargrimst and stuff, right? So this is what you're looking at here is the city itself, the city of Gryrax. And like I said, I've got these notes. This is something that's kind of cool for me now because I built this city kind of all on my own with a little bit of notes from other adventures and stuff and other D&D supplements and stuff. But I kind of built this city. Gryrax was always there, but I built the city out, right? So you guys are now in the river district, if you will, or the wharf district. As you guys offload onto the vessel, the King Allenstad is the dwarf king who sort of rules this region. Very big mining in this area. But again, you guys sort of find yourselves in the wharf in the docks district. There is a small river that feeds from the ocean in through the center or in through town itself. And it sort of dumps right here, right about where you guys got off. And you can see that what you are on here is sort of like this little island area. There's the big walls with the gate leading out from this district. As you can see, G5 is a gate. All the G's are gates, so G5, G4. But you guys are in sort of this river kind of district, which is dominated by hovels and hostels, as well as fisheries and warehouses and other such places. For as you guys arrive, it's relatively early in the morning as you dock, but everything is already in full swing. So we just need to decide what we want to do, what we're going to be looking for. You do have your horses and stuff were actually back in Greyhawk. So that's where the Paladin steed is and stuff like that is being held with the Church of St. Cuthbert. But until such a time as you guys get there, we just need to decide, kind of what we want to do.
I think we should go ahead.
Okay. Well, DM, if there is a druid in the area, I'd like to talk to him and just discuss what we saw down there in the Amadeo, the types of creatures we saw, the geography, the topography, the weather. And if there isn't one in here, then I'd like to buy a scroll and just write down my thoughts on the Amadeo, and so that I'll have it to hand off to a learned man.
Okay, yeah, because first of all, it's a dwarven community. Second of all, it's a large city, right? So Gryrax itself has a pretty hefty population. I want to say 70,000, give or take. Let me see if I take it back. It's a little less than that. It's roughly about 30,000 people inhabit this within the walls, right? And then you've got the exterior communities and stuff, the farmers and the outskirts or the outer edges outside the walls, etc. Right? So it is a large city. No doubt there may be some druids outside of town that are like working with the farmers, but from where you are right now in the river district, more than likely there is not going to be any druids in this area. Grabbing some parchment paper to kind of jot your notes down, absolutely. But talking to a druid probably going to take you a little while to find one, and then you would have to search outside of town.
I'll just write my thoughts down.
Well, I'm okay if we just try to stay the night and then buy some horses and supplies and head north to Greyhawk. I don't want to do anything in a dwarven town. And, well, I posted in a snapshot from Anna's map of where we're at.
Yep.
And Greyhawk is definitely north and might be a little east. I still have Anna's map up.
Yeah, it's basically northeast, right? So you could actually, if you wanted to, you could probably catch a ship from Gryrax to the city of Greyhawk if you wanted to, instead of going overland. If you wanted to take because there's more trade that goes that route. So what it would do is, just so you know, it would go up probably along the wild coast. Probably not going to stop in Highport or anything like that, but maybe some of the cities along the way up. Narwhal, Hardby definitely would be a place to stop before you traveled upriver. Right, so it's totally up to you how you guys want to travel. Right, I'm going to leave that totally up to you if you want to do by horse as you suggested, or if you would rather try to get another ship in order to try to find its way up there.
Or does this river go north?
This river is actually what flows out of the hill. So let me give a little bit of a description of Gryrax as you guys come in. The rocky Areola hills slope away to reveal the Bay of Adderall, right? So the Adderall hills sort of are behind the city, to the east and the north, right? So those are sort of mountainous and hills and stuff where there's a bunch of mining for the dwarves go on. And you guys, in Gryrax itself sits at the nexus here of the ocean, if you will, but the Adderall Bay. Nestled along its rocky shore stands a large metropolis, the dwarf city of Gryrax. Surrounded on three sides by steep walls towering some 30 feet, the dark gray stone is interrupted. Dang it. The dark gray stone is interrupted by several white stone watchtowers that are manned by watchful soldiers of the city. Even from a distance, the unmistakable outline of ballistae and trebuchet can be seen. The fourth side is encompassed by a harbor where you're at. Just offshore, a long, thin line of rock jetties are battered relentlessly by large ocean waves. As the waves crash into the break, huge jets of white foam are sent skyward as the water churns the sandy ocean floor below. Inside this natural protective barrier in front of the city sit dozens of ships flying flags from all over the Flyness. The purple and yellow banners of the Duchy of Ulek, which the Duchy of Ulek is an elven state. The purple and yellow banners of the Duchy of Ulek flap wildly in the breeze along the red and white flags of the Kingdom of Nyrond. The dark red flag bearing the black lion of Keolin flaps side by side with the black and white griffin of the Duchy of Jeff. The countless colorful flags create a festival-like view within the river quarter. Three massive iron gates stand open, letting throngs of people through on their way To and from the markets, shops, or one of the numerous farms dotting the landscape between the city and the mountains to the east. To the north of the city, the slow-moving river Agora provides an avenue of trade inland while giving the industrious dwarven miners a rich deposit of minerals in which to dig. The familiar smells of the city waft along the salt-laden ocean breeze, bringing a sense of welcome and rest. And so, as you guys arrived, you are greeted by not only the dock workers, but a contingent of what are known as the Heften. The Dwarven, the Heften are the Dwarven City Watch. As you guys all arrive, they take your names, where you're from, why you're here, and give you the basic rundown of the city and the districts and the do's and the don'ts, which are pretty standard amongst other things or other cities and other places that you guys have been. If you're to do any adventuring or any mining or any exploring, anything brought back to the city is subject to a 10% tariff when it comes back in. Stuff like that, right? But again, you guys find yourselves right now in the early morning of the dwarven city of Gryrax.
All right, so I guess the big decision: we want to stay a night, figure out if we want to go by ship again, or if we want to go over. Might be able to make us some deals, dwarves.
I mean, I'm open to either, but I'd rather do overland to prevent any more ship issues. But you know,
Scarlet Brotherhood are mostly ship.
Yeah, and they're not gonna raid up here without getting all kinds of trouble.
Oh yeah.
I'd like
tons of military and.
I like to avoid any imperial entanglement.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool either way. I just want to get far away from the water.
I've had enough. Tea is too much. Okay.
I've had enough water for a while, other than bathing or drinking.
All right, so then let's maybe move our way to the internal part of the city, find some decent lodging that we can afford, and then work on getting some horses, some other.
Yeah, because we have treasure to divide up and stuff too. So, yeah.
Not much. We didn't get.
No, but we have a little bit. We have items we need to identify and stuff too. So
that's true. Yeah. Now that we're down that other mage, I don't know if a new guy has identify.
I don't know.
Illyrian. I don't know if Illyrian has identify.
Illyrian still with us? Uh-oh, what'd I miss? Squirrel!
Squirrel.
Hey, nice. Thanks for the cheer, dude. Appreciate it. So we got 500. So that means there's a +1 for everybody except for Barris, because Barris isn't here. So for every 100 bits is a +1. So that means... I really appreciate that, man. That's pretty awesome. All right, so that means now Deglin has a +1. Lyrian has a +1. Ronnie is up to +3. Varys, you have a +1. Zadkiel has a +2. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Good evening, man. Good evening. That is awesome, man. It's most unexpected, but most appreciated, as a matter of fact. So as I said, you guys are in the city. Let me see if I can't. I don't know why it doesn't zoom in a little more. This is the next map that I was going to give to oh my God, Troy Cannibal, so he can have it done correctly for me. I just have to give him my notes and stuff. So I'm just lazy like that. So as I said, you guys you decided you're just going to kind of spend the night and then kind of figure it out, find yourselves a place to stay.
Looks
Now,
like Ronnie went to bed.
so what's that?
Looks like Ronnie dropped and went to bed.
Ronnie
He said
did?
he said he's falling asleep.
Oh, yeah. All right, dude. Dude, bestance in your absence, you. He can't spell right, but that's okay. That's all right. We're probably gonna
almost took my role.
Huh? I know, right?
Yeah.
Ronnie almost took over Monkey Booger's role. Heck with that. All right. Well, anyway, I definitely appreciate that. And again, I didn't think there was going to be much combat. It's a little more role play here than anything. In the district itself, most of the places that you see there are some hostels. Just some sort of, overnight flop houses or whatever. A bunch of bars and taverns, obviously, that are completely stocked full of sailors and dock workers and whatnot that are off shift from the evening and giving way to the on shift of the morning crew. Or you could go more into the city. You can see that the river that cuts through the city has several bridges that cross over it that allow you into the city proper. So it's kind of depending upon what sort of places that you guys want to stay, or
something middle class, maybe lower middle class, so it's not super expensive but decent.
Right.
What is that section N1? Is that like
that's the palace? That's the palace.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep. So you can see that there's a large green area. That's the gardens and whatnot. N1 is surrounded by the walls. You could see, so that's the palace, and then N2 is the parade ground. And you can see the main roads through town. The processional and the Prince's Road are the two ones that are primarily dotted, and then the other places are just G's are just for gates that I identified, right? But there are several sections in town. So the River District is more lower class. You could probably get a little more upper middle class away from the docks, like, toward the center of town. But in that big white open area right in the center of town is more of a large marketplace. On the other side of the river, across the bridges and whatnot, are like the main part of town, right? The main establishments, the main inns, the main businesses, and stuff like that. So, like I said, you can find stuff here. If you guys want to just stick in the River District, totally fine. You could probably find yourself some places here, but it's
yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's up to y'all, but being an elf in a dwarven city, I want to be in a nicer place because that's just my style.
I'm 6'1", so we need to find a place that has like heightened ceilings.
Yeah, we need to find a place that's suitable for tall folk.
Right.
And that, it's not going to rip us off, but, has decent stuff.
So as you guys are asking around, one name keeps... Yeah. And again, it's not all dwarf. It's about a 60% dwarven community. The rest is a mix between human, elf, half elf. No demi-humans at all. Not even half orcs that you see, or at least not that you see here. There might be some in the city, but you just don't see. It's pretty. The dwarves are pretty down on the humanoid tribes, just because to the east you've got the Pomars, and they're always battling the orcs and gnolls and goblins and whatnot. So they're obviously very distrustful of that type of a race. But one place that kind of keeps coming up for as you guys are kind of talking and whatnot, and you ask around for places to stay, a few places here in the River District, Lady Denison's is recommended, but that you come to find out that's a whorehouse. And so if you're looking for that kind of action, Lady Denison's is the place to go. But the Double Rose, which is more toward the center of town, along the processional and the Prince's Road, So if you were to follow the Prince's Road, and once you get to the processional, right near the intersection is a place known as a Double Rose. It is one of the most well-to-do and most welcoming. Probably a little pricier than some of the other places, but it's really one of the top places to go in town. If you're looking for other places, then you definitely can find less quality depending upon what you're looking to pay.
More for security and less
Right.
likelihood of getting robbed in our sleep. So,
Yeah. So yeah, the Double Rose is probably the place you're going to go. A lot of travelers and passers through tend to go there because most people don't come off the boats. A lot of them actually come, overland or whatever, and so whether you're coming overland or off the river or off the water, it's sort of like a nexus is where you would find it. So it takes you guys a little while, but you eventually find this place that's known as a Double Rose, and you can see a sign hangs along the bottom of a balcony at the front of a large tavern inn, painted with a pair of twisted roses. The name scrawled underneath says this establishment is known as the Double Rose. You can see there are balconies all around the outside of the building, and from the thumping coming from above, it seems that there's already a full house. Rose bushes line the outside, and lattice work has been placed all around to allow vines to grow and spread along the lower half of the building. While the upstairs is one complete structure, the downstairs looks to be split into several. A main tavern area makes up the bulk of the establishments. Along one side, there is a small barn and another building that looks to be part of the inn on the other. An additional building along the south side appears to hold more rooms. So it's almost like somebody bought this establishment and then built another building to add more rooms on because there was no room left at the inn or the rooms that they had. Anyway, while the upstairs is one complete structure, the downstairs looks to be split into several. A main tavern makes up the bulk. I'm rereading this just for everybody's sake.
Sure.
A main tavern area makes up the bulk of the establishment. Along the north side, there's a small barn and another building that looks to be part of the inn. An additional building along the south appears to hold even more rooms. Cobblestone paths run between the lower buildings, acting as hallways and giving the place a homey, comforting feel. So while the upstairs is a complete structure, the downstairs is split in half, and it's got cobblestone walkways running between the two halves, one where the rooms are and one where the main tavern is. Inside, you find that the ruckus is nearly as bad as it was outside. The common area is full of people enjoying themselves. The area itself is L-shaped with numerous tables and sitting benches, including stools at the bar. You can see a flight of stairs at the south entry lead up to the second floor. There are two additional exits, one along the east wall and one along the north. The bar itself is set along the east wall. Two young men scurry back and forth trying to keep up with the barmaids who are serving. Near the bar is a swinging-style saloon door that leads to the kitchen, and behind the bar is another flight of stairs leading up. So it looks like the bartenders have their own sort of way to get upstairs, as well as the main entrance area has a flight of stairs to go up. And now that you have arrived at the Double Rose in the city of Gryrax, that is where we're going to end tonight's session. First of all, because Ronnie can't be here. Second of all, because I have something that I have to do as well. So I was hoping we can get done a little bit early. But I think this is a perfect stopping point for us. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate everybody that hung out with us. For those of you that just arrived, I'm sorry that we're closing off just a little bit early. But I hope that you guys like my map of Gryrax here. This is something I don't want to have Cannibal get converted into a full city map. I think it'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We will be back next Monday. As a reminder, this coming Friday is our off week for our 5th edition game, so we don't stream then. In the meantime, I encourage you guys to find out what Lando is doing, because he's got a Wednesday Castles and Crusades thing that he's trying to spin up So hopefully you guys will give a little patronage to that. I know that I will. I'm looking forward to seeing that because I've never played Castles and Crusades. I've got a couple of the books, but I've just never put together a campaign or a group with it. So definitely excited to see how that goes. But yeah, let me. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move everybody over to where. Boink, right about there is where the where you guys will find the double rows, and so hopefully next week the party will begin to make their trek toward the free city of Greyhawk. We do hope that you will join us. In the meantime, let's just kind of shift over here because I know our players do have to bail. Usually they have to leave a little bit early. Anyway, but I appreciate everybody else that has hung out with us. Like I said, hopefully you enjoyed it. A little bit more role play tonight as they finished up the Hidden Shrine of Tomoa-Con. Hey, I appreciate the everything you've done, Excel, man. That was pretty nice of you dropping those. And I am going to carry over the Nat 1s and Nat 20s because we got them and we never really had to use them. Hopefully next week we'll be able to get...
Oh, dang. I was going to use one.
Yeah.
To order a steak.
Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah,
all
right.
For one copper.
All right. Whatever. All right, Lando. We'll see you next week, man. I'm not going to do too much of the after party tonight because, like I said, I got some things that I must take care of. So, again, I really... Oh, Troy! Oh. Let's hang out and let Troy just come in and dive bomb us with some subscriptions. Dude, man, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Kaboom! Kaboom! And by the way, Troy, as you can see... I'm going to go back to it now. See, now you just... Now I'm going to have to go back to it. Let me go back to... we're going to get off the after party and go back to the in-game. Oh, crud. Hang on. Oops, wrong one. Troy got me all flustered, man. I'm like, I closed everything down, and all of a sudden Troy starts to drop up bombs on us, man. Give me just a second. I'm going to go back here because I don't know. Troy, did you just get here or have been watching? Oh, you did see? Okay, never mind. Then I'm not going to bring it back up. That's the map that I'm going to get to you. I still have to get some location details, but I do. This was actually the map that I wrote for the adventure that I was going to, that I wanted to do for one of the, I don't know if it was GrogCon or I was going to do it for Greyhawk Online. I don't remember which one, or the crud, I can never remember the names because there's like 3 of them that I wanted to do. But anyway, I'm going to get you the details on this, man, because I would love to have that map done into a real one because I actually have a really, really cool adventure that I was putting together, and in Gryrax, that's where it starts, is in the free city of Gryrax, and then it spreads out to a couple other places. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have that map. And it's interesting because, again, I was not planning for the party to come here. I didn't know where they were going to do or what they were going to do. So I kind of tried to plan. The only thing I really planned was Greyhawk, right? I got a bunch of Greyhawk maps and area stuff uploaded and ready to go. But I didn't know about the in-between stuff, and that's kind of cool that they ended up in Gryrax because I'm like, oh, crap, I should have thought of that, man. I got a Gryrax map that I can use. So, yeah, that's one I definitely want to have moved into a full-blown map. But anyway, for everybody that's hung out with us tonight, I appreciate you watching, man. So next week, our party will figure out what they're going to do to leave Gryrax. They want to go overland. So I definitely enjoy overland stuff because you just never know what's going to happen along the way. Who knows? Maybe we'll even see a black dragon or something or whatever. That'd be kind of fun. Or a green dragon or a red dragon or whatever. You know, dragons are dragons. So we'll go check that out. Or a good dragon. Why not a brass dragon or something like that? If you follow my 5th edition game, our 5th level party met up with an old or an adult white dragon. So for those that are in 5th edition, party's 5th level, the dragon's a CR 13. So it was it made them pay toll, and I was able to pilfer off some of their magic items and gold from them. So Yeah, it was kind of cool. But I just wanted a little stick of thorn in their side because that's the second time they've met this dragon, and the first time the dragon breathed down the back of one of the players, almost killed him. This time he just took money and gold from him, and they're like, we're really getting tired of this thing. I can't wait till you level us enough that we can fight him. So yeah, it was fun. But anyway, I appreciate everybody that's been hanging out. I do, like I said, I've said it a double time. I've got a couple things I got to get done, so I'm kind of glad we were able to stop a little bit early. I will see you all next time. I just have to figure out who we're going to raid right now. But before all that happens, let's shift that over, and then let's go over and see who we want to raid. So more than likely, you know who it's going to be because she came over and was showing us some love here. Oh man, Guild Superior's out there too. Tough.
Thanks for the game.
All right, brother. We will see you. Don't leave, man. We gotta go. We're gonna go over and we're gonna jump on Darling. So, haven't rated her in a couple of weeks. So let's go ahead and jump over to Darling, see what she's doing. If you've never been over to Darling Creepshow, you really got to check her out. She is awesome. Make sure that when you get there, show her the love, show her the support. Click follow. If you want to subscribe, great. She has content all during the week. Probably tonight she's doing painting minis. But the best part about her stream, I don't care what she's doing, unless she's DMing or playing D&D. Anything that she does non-gaming, like non-playing stuff, she's like got these horrendous ass movies that she plays, the old horror movies and stuff. So I encourage you to check her out. So until next week, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Peace out.